Uh, yeah, map looks fine. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EPL number 2 finals/playoff week between the QSR Management Company. This is the series between bwinner and minimoult. bwinner representing the CMCs, and he's be playing game number 1 as the Ottoman. This is Kamchatka. bwinner spawned into the north side of the map. He's dropping down a TP straight away, playing as the Ottomans, as you would usually do. Looks like, though, just a food crate start for both players. Only one house being thrown down. No mosque, no coin crates. So, in this matchup, and in this context, I think the fact that it's only a food crate is probably going to probably help his opponent, minimoult, a bit more. We have minimoult playing for the Man Duck squad, spawning into the south right of the map, and he'll be playing as the Dutch. Dutch players don't usually have too much use for that extra wood crate in Age 1, so slight advantage going towards the Dutch early on, but it's too early to get anything meaningful so far. Envoy racing the Explorer to get the goat. The Envoy actually slower than the Explorer, but manages to pick up the goat. But bwinner can snare this Envoy if he wants to. It would take a while to actually kill it, but has forced minimoult's Explorer to catch up to the Envoy to offer protection and to fend off bwinner's Ottoman Explorer here. And bwinner's kind of, he's not trapped. Like, you're not going to lose Explorer unless minimoult actually goes in for the hand combat. And minimoult actually may want to do this. He does have macaque support or Freitag, but both macaques are already in the corner. And if you can pick off the Ottoman Explorer, very nice. It will deny him the ability to drop down a second trading post in transition, but I think there's just too much HP for both these guys, and they're both going to go the opposite direction. minimoult, can he go in for the wood steal? Looks like bwinner's going to see it first. Crackshot available. Crackshot comes in though. bwinner's going to get it, but now the snare's off, and where is that extra macaque? Even a villager coming out so far to try and help punch down the Ottoman Explorer or go for the Freitag. Maybe a miss rally instead, actually. A lot of action happening already in game number 1. minimoult, about age up, 15 vils, standard. Really nice herding, starting to get these caribou in and eating these bighorn sheeps first. These are very hard to herd. And sending most of his villagers onto woods to start chopping wood in transition for that bank. We'll check back in later, but picking up another wooded treasure will certainly help his cause in throwing down that bank. minimoult, 80 coin, really nice for the Dutch player. Saves coin being mined in Age 1 for your villagers. Both players apiece getting 40 wood. We can see that bwinner's thrown down a second trading post during transition, and this is what I was talking about. If you can actually take down the Ottoman Explorer. It wasn't possible this game, but maybe if there was a native warrior which was picked up for minimoult in a different game, you have the option to try and pick off this unit and to kind of hamper what the Ottoman player wants to do. But bwinner playing Ottomans, 2 TPs out on the field already, and aging up with the Governor age up. I feel that the Ottoman player is in a strong position at the moment. minimoult, another wood treasure, very nice. Okay, he's got a little bit too much food now. He needs to focus on wood. 11 villagers on wood, very nice. Changes the villagers off the wood as soon as he gets that treasure. 1 vill building the bank, another 2, 3, 4 building the bank, and he's getting enough coin here to try and get a villager in queue as soon as he ages up. Will be a little bit off at the moment, but it shouldn't be too much. Well, it's actually, he's even sending 1 vill off to get the wood crates, and this is just really hurting minimoult at the moment. And you know, these differences are the differences between having a really great Age 2 and macro and having slight improvements. But I suppose with just a single food crate start, tough to get a perfect Age 1 to Age 2 macro, and even killing the goat just to try and help the food counts. Forward outpost from bwinner, 700 coin. Gonna go for the tower FF here, but sending that tower forwards versus Dutch. Dutch don't usually have much military out in the early age too, so this tower can get up relatively unpunished, and unless minimoult sent 8 pikes here, I don't think minimoult can really do much to deny this, and bwinner's so close to aging up, even killing some of these goats just to get that extra bit of food. However, these villagers this far from the town centre, not great herding here from bwinner. Right, minimoult sending 700 wood first here. Drops down a bank on the age up wood, but still has lots of wood left over here. Going for a third bank. You know, I've played this matchup multiple times with the Dutch, and just looking at minimoult's position, I just don't think he's me up in time at the moment. I really don't. I think minimoult's in a real struggling position. 8 pikes. This is completely changed the game. Actually, these 8 pikes would be very nice to try and get in on the siege, but bwinner might be sending 5 Jans at the moment. No, he's not. 16 population. He will see these pikemen, and well, actually, if this barracks was scouted out by minimoult, that could be massively denying. But going for the outpost. Outpost should be able to pick off at least 4 or 5 pikes before taking down, but minimoult buying time with an 8 pike shipment, and I really do like this adjustment from minimoult, because bwinner at the moment, he looks to be very strong, aging up, tower forward, barracks put down, but actually this is the Ottomans' weakest point in the entire game, and that tower's gone down. There is still 7 pikes remaining from minimoult, and only 1 Janissary in queue for bwinner. He can get a good batch of 5 and try and deal with this, but you could even argue to call Minutemen from minimoult. You have a really good eco behind it. Goats, banks, 300 resources very easily to be replenished. These Jans enough to scare away the pikes, and I've only just realised, bwinner, 3 trading post stagecoach, stealing the trading post under minimoult's nose, and the fact that he's got the 3 TPs behind this and a batch of 5 Jans out. Yeah, actually, it's not as bad for bwinner as I thought. That tower really does hurt the Ottoman player pushing forward, but the fact that you have a 3 TP stagecoach and your opponent wins 8 pike shipment, Otto's still in a great position here. I have to say, it's going to be some really good defensive play from minimoult if he wants to try and hold off. Gets the age up in at 7 minutes 30 seconds. Even sent in a 700 coin shipment, but most of that coin, well, not all of that coin, still yet to be gathered. Age up Hussars in base, escorting the 5 Janissaries, trying to sneak out, trying to find where some minimoult villagers are. A couple of these villagers are hunting caribou at the back. And finally, skirmishers do enter the field of play, but these colonial skirmishers, not very scary at the moment. They will shadow tech once the fortress age comes in, but these Janissaries and Hussars could even just get a really good trade here and there already, but waiting for more reinforcements. Will bwinner go for vet Jans? It looks like he's just getting the coin now, and veteran Janissaries will be in very soon. And if that's the case, maybe bwinner might want to wait for veteran Janissaries to come in. Right, double batch of vets skirms out. Only a couple pikes remaining. Minutemen is a possibility here for minimoult, and Minutemen is called. And these pikes actually could go straight in here. This is going to be a really good engagement for minimoult, and you know, bwinner engaging before vet Jan, before 2 falconets come across the field. I think minimoult will be very happy with that engagement there. You could say Minutemen didn't achieve too much, but he is buying a lot of time, and when you have a significantly better economy, well, is the economy better? bwinner has 3 TPs and has a lot of power shipments still to come. Could even set the TPs to coin and send Mamelukes or go for Spahis. Both of those 2 shipments are very strong if minimoult is going to focus on skirmishers here. Yeah, the pikeman play looks good on paper, but well, look, the pikeman play looks good theoretically, but in reality, he's just slowed his age up so down, and the push is already in. There's no Reuters on the field yet for minimoult. He does have a batch in queue, but only getting 2 out. Falconets are still uncontested, and it feels very hard if these skirmishers to push in. 5 Hussars, first card from minimoult. That's not the shipment I was expecting, but could actually work really well. Janissaries will be forced to commit forwards and actually body block and go to hand combat, but his Colonial Hussars falling over very, very quickly. It does allow the skirmishers to push forward. Falconets engaged in the barracks. Not great body blocking here on the Falconets, losing HP here, but both standing up. 2 Reuters coming in. 1 Falconet on low HP, but does get a couple volleys off, and it feels that bwinner nearly had the game in his grasp there and then if he could defend those Falconets better. But minimoult, 5 Hussar, clutch play there, enough to distract the army and pick off the Falconets behind with the Reuters and skirmishers. Wow, Town Centre coming down for bwinner, not even on a 1,000 wood shipment here. That seems a little slow in this instance. Only now throwing down the artillery foundry. He does have, you know, the stagecoach behind, giving him the resource income, but an extra town centre versus Dutch, who has a fantastic eco behind this, and well, considering the fact that he's soon to have his own trading post, the fact that you once had a 3 TP stagecoach, now transitions to you only have a 1 TP advantage over your opponents, which is much less imposing, and minimoult is happy to have the time here, I feel, and he still has shipments like 8 skirm, 9 Reuter, skirm combat still to send. Nine Reuters, next card out from minimoult, just enough to keep these skirmishers safe. These skirmishers enough to deal with the veteran Janissary mass and to prevent any awkward timings with bwinner sending spies or Mamluks to the forward town centre, but I don't think bwinner has the resources for that. He's been investing in Falconets, and another 3 Falconets coming out. I'm not too sure minimoult's expecting this. He will see this, and the best decision at this point, I think, is just to run, and that's what minimoult is doing. He needs to actually pull the skirms with his Reuters actually to try and protect a big volley coming off. So much HP being lost there. Really big volley, and I think because the Reuters have the same range as the Janissaries, and how with the Jan combat, minimoult needs to go for culverins, and he's doing exactly that. Artillery foundry being thrown down, but I don't know where. Okay, it's at the back of the base. Will get up. May need to try and distract bwinner to not scout this out, actually, because this is the one way for bwinner to actually lose his position, is to get 2 culverins. Reuter flank, though, may actually pick one of his Falconets off. Staying in range combat here. I like that decision to try and not take too much damage, but he's staying a little too long, and I don't like this committal from minimoult. So many skirms going down to the Falconets. Okay, he's picked the Falconets off, but he's lost so many of these Reuters as well. And if you go into units lost, that's probably the first engagement the Reuters actually had, and losing 11 Reuters, that's near enough 1,000 coin there and then. I suppose the 3 Falconets more expensive, but you already lost lots of skirms as well. bwinner just going to pull back, and this could open up minimoult for a possibility of a 5 Spahi push from bwinner. This town centre has finally made 2 villagers hunting. But apart from that, it's not offering too much. It does offer that forward spawn point. bwinner does have a lot of food saved up. Shipment on the way, though, so it's not going to be that Spahi this time. I don't know what bwinner can send here. I don't think you want to be sending 5 Colonial Huss in the face of these veteran Reuters. You need something a little bit more tanky. 2 Falconets coming out. Jans need to cover these Falconets. You cannot allow the Reuters to path in again like last time. And the Janissaries keep the artillery pieces covered. minimoult, though, going to go for his own Falconets this time. And instead of going for the culverin, going for the Falconets, I think he's forced into this, really, because he's lost some of his skirmishers to the previous wave of Falconets. So he kind of can't trade the artillery pieces off with a culverin versus Falconets, because then you have nothing to deal with these tanky Janissaries behind this. And oh no, bwinner Royal Mint? No, that has to be a misclick, surely. Why would you send this? Why would you send that? Am I missing something here? Okay, Falconet's coming out, and bwinner has seen that he's in a Falconet game. He's going to unpack his artillery pieces, but the Raiders are going to come straight out here and actually try to close the distance. Janissary is already in hand combat, though, tearing these units down. I think the Falconets are out of range, though. Can get a good volley on the skirmishers, and at the end of the day, it's still Janissaries versus Raiders, and so far, bwinner, he is getting good trades. You cannot argue that. Another Culverin coming in, but he's letting the Raiders in close. Right, bwinner will nearly have another shipment. About 1k food saved up. Can spend that into Janissaries. One Culverin coming out from minimoult. These Falconets still a HP, so would really need a Culverin to deal with these. The 5 spy he's played would be quite strong here. Not many Raiders available for minimoult. Minimoult though, dropping a second stable. Very nice for double pumping Raiders, which you can feel minimoult's aware of this. He's got skirmishers and falconets. He needs to keep these units protected, and Raider mass is probably the easiest and probably the best way to keep them covered at the moment. Alright, 2 Culverins going out, lots of HP to tank. We're going to try and close the distance on the Falconets, but the Falconets are so far away, and the fact that now minimoult is aware that the Culverins exist is a bit of a win for minimoult. These Culverins do terrible damage versus anything else which isn't an artillery piece, and at the moment there's 1,000 resources of artillery just sat there, while minimoult is just trading off his units the best he can. Even Falconets in range of the Minutemen and Janissaries. Right, that food has gone somewhere. I'm thinking a big pop of Spahies is soon to be come out, but this town centre is not long, and the Spahies, they've come out, but where are they? Where are they? They've gone to the wrong town centre. I think minimoult is in a great position here. He's kept his 2 Falconets alive, significant road to mass, and now he'll see these Spahies. I'm sure he'll be like, oh, big power shipment here from the Ottoman player, but he's got the right army to deal with this. He's traded off so well versus the Ottoman player so far. I think this is just a simple kiting action from minimoult to pick off these Spahies one by one. The Falconets aren't even the biggest thing to protect at the moment. It's the Raider mass, and once these Spahies going down, I think minimoult has slammed the door firmly shut in bwinner's face. I'm not seeing much of a comeback here, especially after that town centre being taken down. And all those artillery pieces bwinner's invested have kind of gone. minimoult, Eco still very strong behind this. Hunting Dogs does have his great coats. 3 banks behind this. He knows he didn't have to over invest into the economy, and when you're playing versus the Ottoman, I think the trick is to manage a healthy balance between economy and military, so you don't fall flat on your face if you've over-invested in your eco, and minimoult struck a very nice balance this game so far with that. bwinner carrying on in this game, throwing down another artillery foundry in the back. Looks like bwinner's trying to amass some more units. You probably have to resort to Abus guns at this point, because there's so many Raiders out in the field from minimoult that going Falconets is probably suicidal here, because you just don't have enough infantry to cover it off. Side walling from minimoult, he knows he's ahead, so he can afford a bit of villager time to wall up, and that way he can protect his coin mines from a massive cav raid. And okay, the big cavalry shipments of the Ottoman player have really gone so far. The 5 Spahies. Mamluks are available and can be sent, but not the greatest raiders. minimoult is just slow pushing them up, getting the trading posts, and he's finally sent his 1k wood, and this has to be the biggest kind of like, I have survived, I'm happy, I'm in the lead shipment. And I'm sure minimoult's going to throw down maybe a second barracks, more houses, could get a few architects, does have steel traps now, could go place some mines, get a 4th bank as well, maybe not 5, but a 4th bank will help out so much, and try and reposition your villagers, a few more on food, but 18 vills on coin is enough to get Batches of 10 Reuters out continuously. There's that cav raid we're talking about, but bwinners will see this, and is that fully blocked off? That looks like he can get around, but good wall in there from minimoult, not deleting the wall pillars this instance. And 5 Hussar shipment falling flat on its face here. minimoult playing this very smart and just being safe at this point. 4th bank coming out. Maybe Arsenal at some point. 5th bank as well, so minimoult is going double bank on that 1000 wood up to full 5, and minimoult doesn't even have to be the aggressive player here. He can just sit back and reach 200 population. I don't see the Dutch ever really get into 200 population, but when you feel that you are ahead, don't have to overcommit. And I think minimoult's just trying to play as safe as possible. We'll pick up a few villagers. bwinners Vils, Abbasid Market, Galata Tower District, but the only other upgrade they have is Royal Mints. Not even Place of Mines, Great Coats or Hunting Dogs. Just now, the Royal Mint, it does help, with coin income and getting up those artillery pieces. I don't see a market though. Maybe sending like 1,000 coin could be better. Culverin's coming out straight into the Reuter mass, and well, that's another 1,000 resources gone, unfortunately. I mean, Culverin's, yes, to deal with the Falconets, but it still just does absolutely nothing for the Reuter mass, the Skirmisher mass. Avis guns are pseudo Culverins. They could have worked in this case. The push coming in from bwinner actually. He did get 3 Falconets out, so I think a couple of Falcons survived earlier, and the 2 Culverins are meant to link up with this army to cover these Falconets, and Vet Jan's quite tanky, and the Hussars here to snare as well. Does their job very well, but actually the fact that bwinner's army is here and the Dutch player's army is here, just denying the entire eco, is not great for the Ottoman player. But what this does mean is that minimoult can just turn around with his more mobile army and just try to kind of cut off supplies and crush us, really. minimoult can trade pretty poorly if he wants to in this case. He has the much better eco, banks continuously gathering coin, and I think the kind of the Z move here from minimoult will come out. Even picking up 5 Jans in transition in the middle. Very strong. Credit for bwinner to try and fight this out, and he had the opportunity to come back in, but the game was very, very professionally closed out there for minimoult, and he would take the first game. He just play all 7 series. This game was interesting. minimoult going for that 8 pike shipments, card number 2, and it's always so tempting to send a bank wagon at that point and kind of follow the traditional card order, but going 700 wood bank wagon, 600 wood, or 700 wood bank wagon, train 5 huss, 700 coin does feel a little slow. minimoult just sent 8 pikes to try and siege the outpost, got the outpost down, nearly got the barracks, but 5 Jans popped out. That train post still survived though from bwinner, and it looks like bwinner was in a pretty strong position moving forward. minimoult not going for a fast age up, but kind of balancing a bit of military and eco in the second age. Was under pressure for a while, but very nice in him getting out 2 batches of 5 scums in transition. So he had some sort of force into the fortress age, but bwinner not successfully blocking off his falconets from Dutch player's army. I thought the game was near enough wrapped up there and then for the Ottoman player, but after that exchange went well for minimoult, continuing to fight back. Big pop under the town centre, could have been with the Spahis, but they were sent home. Culverins were getting picked off quite cheaply, and then even sending Royal Mints. Just it felt so against the kind of momentum that bwinner needed that point, and just gave minimoult that room to breathe. 5 Spahis came in once the Reuter mass was so much larger, and minimoult just played it safe, walling up 1,000 wood, eventually getting up some good eco, 2 banks, and just playing it very smartly, and to close out the game there. Villager count very equal between the 2 players. Looks like bwinner's extra town centre, you can see it slightly helped, maybe an extra 3 villagers. Had a second town centre out on the map, it seemed. Did it seem? I may have missed that. Maybe it was this town centre was up for quite a while, but the fact that the Ottoman player couldn't hold the stagecoach kind of made that town centre was less effective. If you invested that resources into army instead of a second town centre and protected the stagecoach, it's not that you're losing less resources from losing the stagecoach, you're preventing the opponent getting those resources as well. I think we can see that once the economy really kicks in for the Dutch player, he survives the storm, captures the train posts around about here, and then just takes off with the 2 bank wagon, 1,000 wood, market upgrades, and yeah, minimoult had that game won at that point. And yeah, big fight for minimoult by that town centre. The 5 Spahis came up, but a little bit too late. Try to push in, but the Spahis went down. The Culverins picked off. Not many Falconets are alive. Not many Janissaries alive at that point. Enough skirmishers and rotors to deal with that, and yeah, well closed off there by minimoult. This is going to be a long series, isn't it? Game number 2. Looks like the players have already picked their civs, which I certainly wouldn't say I not appreciative of that. So China Aztec on Manchuria. I think it was the CMCs to pick first, right? I will just quickly check with the players. I'm kind of keeping a little tab as the series goes on, who wins what, who plays with what, because when you get to game number 6 and you're trying to work out actually what happened in game number 1 and 2, it kind of flies by in a bit of a blur. So it looks like CMC's picked first, and that there is bwinner's China. So China Aztec. Aztec counter pick here. I like this counter pick from minimoult. And we'll hop into game number 2. Right, welcome back, guys. Game number 2 between minimoult bwinner. Currently spawning in on Manchuria for a China versus Aztec game. Minimoult playing as the Aztecs, winning the first game on Kamchatka. This was a counter pick for bwinner's China pick. The map is Manchuria, and it looks like it was a single, maybe double actually, maybe a food and a wood crate start. So very strong starting crates here for the Chinese player, and you can see bwinner straight away going for that trading post and not having to chop too much wood to get that 190 wood village down in the first age. Yaks as well on the map being gathered up by the disciple, hoping to basically, now that the disciple's here, I like this disciple to move up the center of the map. A map feature of Manchuria, so there's always double yaks in the center, so it'd be a good place to go. But the disciple is going to go a bit far forward. Does scout out though, 90 wood. Oh, that's a nice treasure straight away, 85 wood. bwinner though, going to carry on chopping his village wood though. Do not want to slow down his Vil and his northern refugee shipments. And I've got to say, bwinner's start here is very strong indeed. Quick check of the hunts as well. 2, 3 nearby. Not in the corner, but still close enough. 3, and that is back there. So hunts are very balanced here, so I'm happy with this map balance. Let's crack on. Minimoult does see his 2 yaks. I usually think there's 2 sets of double yaks, but this spawn there was 3. bwinner's about to see this double spawn of yaks here. Will be close if he skis it though. Just misses it though, which is quite unfortunate. Minimoult moving back to this 85 wood treasure. Does have a converted line to help out as well. Maybe waiting for that convertibility to come back as well. Him standing by does suggest he's ready to go. I'm going to risk these yaks going back on to the base on their own, but I feel that it's a safe enough play considering bwinner's probably using his disciple to help out with treasure gathering, which is exactly what we see on the other side of the map. 75 food being picked up for the Chinese player. Aztec player though, going to pick himself up 85 wood. And the remaining treasures on the map, let's have a look. Cavalry Siege, 10%. I wonder if this helps the Coyote runs as well. I'm going to say, for balance reasons, yes, but chances are probably no. Well, it doesn't affect, but it probably should affect. 65 coin, macaques. A very takeable treasure, that is. bwinner may want to think about taking that if he's going to go for an FF. Does scout out 150 coin. A bit strong at the moment for him. Maybe come back in the second age. But he did scout that in 90 wood, and that's where he's been walking. I suppose I like the idea of taking a big treasure here. But if you want to use that wood for a second training post in transition, Explorer's awkwardly on the other side of the map to where you want to build your second TP there. So I guess you can't choose where to put your treasures. I wonder what bwinner is going to make use of this wood in transition. And okay, second card. I thought bwinner did a Daruga there and send a Box of Rebellion first by mistake. Okay, this line has been taken down slightly away from this treasure. Looks like bwinner is going to have to commit to the treasure. Actually, he's not even in the second age yet. He's only got 57 HP. And there's quite a few explorers here. That explorer is dead. 180 XP from the lion kill. Double XP bonus from the explorer. And 90 wood from the Aztec. That is such a big pickup there. That is huge. Minimoult already at 2 shipments ready to go. Thanks to that 180 XP pickup there. 1 fire pit, 1 TP. Minimoult, if he's going to go Shaman Age Up, let's have a look what he's doing. Shaman Age Up here. Could even send something like 700 woods, 600 woods, and then 5 units back to back. It's so much XP for the Aztec player. This is so strong of a start. Summer Palace, bwinner, made defensively. I understand the trees here make it very awkward to place it in front of your base, but you're exposing your single villager to a possible pike rush from Minimoult, and rule number 1 from China is protect your villagers at all costs. They're so awkward to replace if you lose them, and obviously bwinner didn't have that second wood treasure because he lost his explorer. He'd not be able to scout out where the Aztec player is, but I suppose you can guess the Aztec player. Your first guess would be the 2 war huts in this situation. Minimoult has put them so far forward, and it's not like bwinner can do anything to deny it. Even Minutemen here, Pike Minutemen, not even close to siege down a single war hut. Two Pumas, first units in queue from Minimoult. I would have liked to see a Puma and a Coyote mixed batch, if I'm being completely honest. Just kind of gives a bit more flexibility. It feels that the pikes are absolutely great for the village, but you're kind of at risk for an early Chukanu batch, minutes, disciple. But I suppose no disciples here because bwinner's losing his explorer for a second time in the middle of the map. Does scout the Mace Sultans, but you need that Chinese explorer in your base, healthy for disciples to defend this Aztec push. And bwinner's aging up. I'm hoping he's aging up with Skirm Wander, otherwise I think he's absolutely toast. He's got up the Porcelain Tower, so it gives you resources trickle when you age up, but no immediate benefit. And pikes are on the field. Mace Sultan shipped. Another shipment must be on the way. Going to units in queue. Maybe Minimoult's just backing off. Doesn't want to overcommit too hard, too early before losing any more units. 9 maces come, 2 coyotes in queue. Those pikes are looking for a trading post, but honestly, he should be just in the base at the moment, tearing down that village. That village is so critical. If that village was gone, bwinner, who's in the 3rd age very soon, will have no shipment to send. They just couldn't send a shipment. no population space. A batch of 4 coyotes from minimoult. Maybe that 700 wood, 600 wood could have been a little bit stronger. Now pushing with these Mace Sultans, and it's just, this army's going to get cleaned up very quickly here from bwinner. Not enough really to defend himself here. A couple of coyotes, 3 Chukanu, 3 pikes in the minutes, but very quickly going down. More reinforcing coyotes. Yeah, minimoult sees the base now. He sees everything here. But these pikemen are just finished that trading post. He has to go for the village. Going for anything else here seems to be the incorrect decision. He's going straight for the town centre. This is risky with capital R. You still can send shipments as China if you lose your town centre, because villages has a home city spawn point. If anything, maybe the town centre is probably the least priority building here. Each of the other 3 buildings are arguably more important than a single town centre, and 5 meteors, first card from bwinner, right on top of the maces, and bwinner didn't send 700 wood. He couldn't really send 700 wood here because he went for the Box of Rebellion. And has bwinner survived this? It's more reinforcements are coming in for minimoult. bwinner may need to send more pikemen from the Box of Rebellion. Well, no, Box of Rebellion only gives you a single batch. Oh, that's what it is. minimoult went for Stagecoach and 2 TPs, and I wondered why his unit count was so low for quite a while for the Aztec player. He spent that wood on second training post and the Stagecoach upgrade instead of investing further into the Coyote runners. But I feel you've just given bwinner that time, and if that village has gone down, this game could have been absolutely closed off earlier. Changdao's though, real strong versus both these unit types, and minimoult has to run back to the war huts and try and remass some sort of Mace Sultan mass, but I feel minimoult with only a 2 TP Stagecoach behind this just doesn't have the resources really to fund this. Coyotes run straight in though, getting picked up by Changdao. These pikemen, you can see what he's trying to do. Going for the war chief, but also go straight for the village. Circle sieging, Victor Sui style here. Only gets a couple of pikemen engaging in that village, but I think seeing that second village goes up, I think minimoult's kind of realised that 3,000 HP on the town centre was kind of wasted. And he's now losing Puma Spearman to the one-shot kill of the town centre, which is a very calculated decision from bwinner. Box of Rebellion, very strong, versus the Mace Sultans and Puma Spearmen. Porcelain Tower on the wood has now afforded the War Academy, the Consulate, another village. Maybe get a bit more wood, another 200, and go for, well, probably a 4th village to be honest, and then switch it to food, because your food count's looking a little bit low. He does have this lovely hunt in the corner though, unscouted by both players. I assume it's unscouted by Aztec players as well. Yeah, both players not knowing that hunt's in the corner, and that been such a safe place for bwinner to gather, and try your best to maybe have just 10 vills in this little circle around the town centre and have the remaining vills gathering. But I think bwinner is in a fine position now moving forward, and just can wait for more shipments to come in and essentially wait for the Porcelain Tower to keep the Chinese player alive and keep that eco really rolling at this point. Mini scouting the back hunt, does see no villagers, but gonna be zoned off by bwinner's Arquebusier mass, and should try and pick off probably 2 coyotes here. Good play though from bwinner to basically try and punish everything he can at any point, and moving in with his Arquebusier mass. You know, not great versus coyote runners, but when you have enough of them, picking off I think it was 2 units then. Good pickup there by bwinner, and he's just making the best out of every opportunity he can to get back in. And I feel that now going Brick Consulate, having enough export probably to train the No, he's been idled so much he doesn't have the exports to send redcoats, but you can bet your top dollar the next shipment coming in is the intervention. 9 musketeers being sent for the Chinese player here. It's just exactly what you need to kind of... It's nice, solid unit type, all-rounder, does very well versus Coyotes, Puma Spearmen, and decent at sieging as well, and keeps these arquebusiers and two canoes a bit more safer. Minimoult trying to go for the village raid again, but that window has long closed, my friend. And the fact that these Puma Spearmen are out of the map, away from these Coyote runners, is just a rest in peace moment. There's so many Pumas going down here for relatively free. Coyotes running into the base, trying to get a good raid in the time. I like that decision, but you're going to need to kill at least 6, 8 vills to make this worth it. You've lost all your siege potential here, and it's not like bwinner's are far away from his villages. Cav Batch comes out, a couple maces being cleaned up by the Iron Flail. Great use of this unit on the Mace Sultans. Absolutely counter the Mace Sultans here. Intervention should soon be in from bwinner, not sent yet. And that's 700 wood from this porcelain tower. I can't believe bwinner survived that early Aztec play and this has paid off so well. I just refuse to believe that was the correct decision. But it's worked in bwinner's favour this game, and did he lose any villagers here? I don't think so. I mean, okay, he's lost villagers throughout the game. He lost a handful there, but look at the eco, 27 to 35. Yes, he's down in population, but he's H3 China. He has the units coming in. He will have reinforcements. He has the Summer Palace. He has intervention available still, and soon to have the export needed to send musketeers. He has his territorial army combat repelling volleys options to go with as well. Get the coin up, maybe go for Manchu to protect from the Coyotes. He picked off all his pikes, and looks like he's trying to circumnavigate these 2 war huts, but maybe just knock it down and try and cut off your production capability of your opponents. Monk trying to build a train post, but we'll see this pike raid. Cav Batch moving around. Yeah, just imagine if bwinner went pure Cav Batches at this moment. Really strong at this point. Even all villas on coin, porcelain tower to coin. He's turned off that tower from wood now to other resources finally, which is a great decision from bwinner. He can invest those resources into army, but Changdao's just running through the army, not actually engaging just yet. Okay, now engaging with the Coyote runners. These guys do pretty well versus Coyote runners. Relatively speaking, much better than versus standard European cavalry units, as you'd expect. Another Cav Batch on the Coyotes. Coyotes being picked up here by Redcoats. Yeah, China just doing what he needs to at this point. Pike raid though. Puma Spearmen on these villagers. We'll pick off maybe 3. Deny a bit of hunting, but he's losing his war hut. A couple Coyotes out in the field, but bwinner, 2 coin mines in base. I feel that coin income here should be very strong, and a mercenary shipment would be very nice for the Chinese player just to kind of solidify his potential weakness to full Coyotes. There's no way Minimoult's getting to the next stage though. He's committed so hard to that second stage, and maybe he sends coin and tries to pray for a fast stage up and get a few eagles out, but I think bwinner's done it there. Oh, 1,000 coin shipment from bwinner. That is very nice, actually. I have to say, that's a great idea. We'll need to turn his porcelain tower onto food now, which he has, to try and get the eco up. Hopefully he has a second war academy. I don't see it, but he has gone for second TP, and he had 600 wood, so maybe a stagecoach coming behind us. A late idea, but I suppose when you have no market, a nice way to increase your economy without having to... Yeah, a stagecoach does come in, and especially with bwinner's low villager counts. Probably a smart play that was. Export has gone. More musketeers should be out in the field. Yeah, they went top side. And let's just look at this mass from the Chinese player. And let's look at the army count from the Aztec player. Nil poir, absolutely nothing. Mini 1400. Food, dancing. I don't know if he's dancing for warrior priest, but you need more than warrior priest. You need a whole army to try and sustain yourself. And bwinner is going for the TPs, or is he? He's just chilling. I don't think bwinner really knows the kind of lead he's in at the moment. Is the monk going for the 150 coin treasure, or is he going for the Zen temple? Zen does provide you experience, which would be quite tactical to have now to try and get the XP for your next shipment. Hand damage 10%, but not too many Chang Daos remaining, so nope. And the first mercenary shipment come in, Iron Troop, who do alright versus even Coyote runners actually. I'm not even too sure if these have a negative multiplier versus Coyote runners because they don't have a negative light infantry unit tag, which is what these guys are, not cavalry. So actually Iron Troops exceptionally strong versus Colonial Aztec in this case. A couple of cav units snaring the Coyotes, but it's just waiting for the inevitable to happen, and that's the Chinese army just moving in into the Aztec town, and any target here is a good choice. War Hut, Fire Pit is a crucial target. Double War Hut here seems a bit strong. He's just basically just waiting and just trying to pick up any reinforcements. Yeah, triple batch of maces, but a couple of maces getting picked off straight away. These Iron Troop very hard to get picked off due to Town Center, War Hut fire, and there's not enough Coyotes here to do these guys. But these Iron Troops will survive for so long, and you just feel that he's already losing so much. That Fire Pit is not working, and the GG comes in, and the GG has been called. bwinner taking that game and 1-all after the second game. If minimoult was to watch this back, he'd be absolutely kicking himself that he did not take down this forward village and went for the town centre instead. You can see the HP difference. Thinking, oh, I can take down the town centre, be in a great position, but China villages, 20 population, 190 wood, but only have 2,750 HP. So, you know, quite big buildings, but a little bit less HP than what they should be. I think, if I'm correct in what I'm saying, a little less HP than they should be for two houses. House 1,200, 2,400. No, I'm a bit wrong on that, but it's close enough. It doesn't matter. But take down the village. Can't send your shipments like the 5 meteor hammers, and will have to send maybe intervention first. But you had no consulate because there's no way to build a consulate because your entire Aztec army was underneath, and bwinner would have had to try and snuck out villagers at that point to try and come back in. And minimoult would have picked up a very quick second game, and I think it was a mixture of not sieging the village down and trying to play a semi-aggressive, semi-eco training post stagecoach behind this. But if minimoult just funded all that wood into the army and could have had an extra 6 to 8 Coyote rounds, I reckon, from his forward war huts, and I think that game would have been fully over from bwinner. bwinner though, I like the idea of not sending 700 wood. Preemptive Boxer Rebellion. Some say it was a great idea. Some say it would probably not be a great idea. But in this case, it has worked out for bwinner, and survives and fights and lives to fight another day, shall I say? Yeah, losing a couple of villas once it gets to that age up there with the trying to get the units, and he just needed to kind of get his villages out working and try and tank up fire when he sent his unit batches out. Big raid though, but that was when a cav batch caught the Coyotes and all the Puma Spearmen come down. So look at this villagers drop here. Military drop coincides with all those Puma Spearmen, so minimoult trying to make the most of a bad situation, losing his Puma Spearmen for free, but losing all those units and just allowed China to mass up. And once China got that nice critical mass of about 50 population, was able to push out afterwards and secure the game. So, bwinner won as China and lost as Ottoman. Who would have guessed that before the series started? I certainly wouldn't. Let's have a look at the map pool. Kamchatka was our first map, and we just finished up on Manchuria. The Romanian maps before the Civ reset is Iowa and Iberian Strait. This could have been a quite nice map for bwinner to counter pick with Otto, but I suppose maybe minimoult maybe had a Civ lined up to counter an Ottoman pick. Game 5, Dakar, 6 Lumarco, and then Fraser River rounds up for Game 7. I'm expecting Otto to be played on either Dakar or Lumarco from bwinner, and these two players did play an Ottoman mirror on Dakar beforehand. The last time these players played on Iowa, bwinner went for the Ottomans. Minimoult played the British, and no surprises there, bwinner won that game. Not a great Brit map, and I was very confused by the British pick from Minimoult. I was unsure who was picking and who was counter picking, but I don't think you'd be playing British as your first pick on a map like Iowa there. But Ottomans out the question here for bwinner. Minimoult can himself go Ottomans, but goes Germany. bwinner gonna go for the German mirror, and the last time these two played was Game 1 in their series in Week 3. German mirror on Manchuria. bwinner won that though, so yeah, it looks like bwinner is ready for this matchup and is going to say the good luck, have fun. Actually, I would take a very quick 1-minute break before we start.
Yes. Are you ready? Yes.
Right, I am back. Both players seem to be back. bwinner's ready with the good luck, have fun. I wonder if minimoult is ready. Okay, he said good luck, have fun himself. So let us begin. Game number 3 on Iowa, German mirror. Stand by. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Unless this is a double hunt. I don't think it's a double hunt, is it? Is it? Nah, single. Starting. 2 starting. I've only seen 4 hunts to 3 mid. Oh my god! Oh. Oh. Oh, well played, minimoult, winning the Explorer race, and I was too busy checking map balance to realise that it was a wood crate start for both players. Both players running towards the both players running towards the same train post. The train post on the far left does provide you that first experience pass and provides you that first shipment at an earlier point. Minimoult, 100 foot as well. Thrown down that house, shipment sent really nice and early. bwinner's first shipment will be delayed. Not too much though. He does have that house, and you know, minimoult got extra XP from that TP event he really needed and had to wait for the house being built, so it's not as bad as you think. But sent in age 1 shipment about 15 seconds later. We'll check on the timings, but bwinner will be wishing. Oh no, I found the extra hunt. No, that's the 4th hunt. That's bwinner's starting. That's gone for a very bit of a very large wander to the north side. 2 set the wagons. minimoult, first card, 2 minutes 20. So not super fast, but the fastest it can be on this map really, without an XP treasure by going for that trading post on the far left hand side. But you can see that it helps, but it doesn't make the biggest difference. bwinner's shipment coming in 15 seconds later. In terms of villager seconds, probably about 50, 60 food, which is just an age 1 treasure. It's not the biggest deal breaker in the world, and you can see minimoult is ahead by about 100 food. He did get the 100 food treasure, but we'll have to see what else bwinner has managed to pick up. Alright, so bwinner 90 food. Yeah, you can see that minimoult is ahead in about 80 food as a result of the earlier shipment, but it's really nothing much more significant than that. I would have to check the rules because I offered a read and bwinner technically said let's read, but I was offering it to Mini. I will have to brush up on my tournament knowledge afterwards because we are allowed to rehost for any map specific reasons, but the map specific reason was only affecting minimoult to say. I guess bwinner said he could try rehost for a fair game, and you know, bwinner's a lovely guy. I think bwinner is somebody who wants to have fair games every single time and try and go for the most optimal balance map spawn possible. But minimoult declined, wanted to play on, and good decision there. Did get the early TP pass and even go for a second train post. So the early age 1 shenanigans have stopped, and now it's about who is the better German player. I don't think that advantage in age 1 is as big as I initially thought made it out to be, but that second train post, very nice of minimoult. Hunts were fine. There's 4. It's usually symmetrical map spawn, but this hunt didn't spawn here. So there was a single hunt missing for bwinner on his side, but all the hunts are so far in the middle that I guess it doesn't technically matter. But if this went into a prolonged game, I guess it maybe would. It probably won't be as effective because it is a German mirror, so food income isn't the greatest, but whoever knows, we could have a 50-minute game on Iowa. Let's strap ourselves in for an exciting game. First shipments both in for both players. 3 set of wagons. Mini shipment in just before bwinner's due to that slightly faster age up time. Age up difference was 7 seconds there, so not the biggest difference. And both players are now fighting over this 90 food, and bwinner's going to come in for the treasure steal, but he's going to get cleaned up here by the Uhlans afterwards. But is he though? 2 Ulans coming out. Early game micro, and looks like bwinner's picked up his 2 Ulans. Is he going to try and focus to pull his own Ulan back? He's not pulling his Ulan back. And it's going to be a trade-off actually, but does win that fight due to that previous starting that fight first and picking up the Explorer as well. Slight advantages all the time. This is what happens in mirrors. Just every slight advantage you can get just eventually grows, and I think bwinner can be slightly more pleased when that didn't go minimoult's way after what happened in Age 1. Right, cavalry start for bwinner in base. Both players 3 settler wagons, 700 wood. Both players having steel traps, place of mines. Let's check over here. Steel traps, place of mines as well. Barracks opening up for minimoult. Gone for 4 doppelsonders. Sieging down bwinner's only trading post. And there is very little that bwinner can do to defend his single trading post at this point. And that is a feels bad moment. And sieging with his Ulans, I suppose you're going to have to at some point, but yeah. Let's play on. I'll let somebody else decide that one. I can't really. I'm not going to get involved. It's not my judgment. I'm also not going to alt tab the game because it crashed when we started the stream as a result of that. But I will not be making that mistake again. And looks like a couple of Ulans trying to go for a raid on the right side, trying to catch these Ulans here, but trying to move past them, but get cleaned up there by bwinner. But doppelsonders moving forward. Did he pick up a Vil? What was that Vil doing so far forward? Was that I think that might have been bwinner. No, bwinner's starting hunt has moved back in, trying to herd the second hunts there, get picked off by the Ulan. And yeah, both players having awkward hunts, but very normal for Iowa. So minimoult 1 trading post versus 0 due to the fact that he went for a second trading post. You would expect bwinner to age up first as a result, because he didn't chop all that extra wood for the trading post, and 5 Ulans being made is much cheaper, or slightly cheaper, than 4 doppelsonders. It's certainly very close. I think it's 800 versus 750 resources, and that gives bwinner that slight age up advantage. minimoult even sending 600 gold to help his advance, and I suppose with that extra town trading post, that may have been a sensible decision, just to ensure a pronto age up to the 3rd age. But being snared here by Ulans, Doppels coming from behind. These are colonial Ulans, they're melting! They're absolutely melting, and plus 15s are flying everywhere. bwinner is sacking 2 Ulans, that trading post is still up, but donating 5 Ulans to his opponent, that is brutal, and that is 750 resources wiped off the map before they get used in the 3rd age. And the veteran Ulans is researched. Right, bwinner has a shipment in the 3rd age because he didn't send 600 coin afterwards. Even called Minutemen for some reason. I wonder what the Minutemen was for. Trying to catch a raid on the side. Both players, well, looks like minimoult has his great coats. He must be listening to many of my casts. But bwinner, not just yet. Has lost a single villager, and I believe that was the villager here trying to herd this hunting a little bit earlier. But apart from that, it doesn't seem too bad. More doppelsonders have been made, actually. Bit curious by this from minimoult. Those 4 doppels have paid off so well in that 2nd age, but going for a second batch doppels feels a little bit interesting in this case. Especially now that we transition into kind of a skirm war wagon, but no, bwinner. More Ulans, vet Ulans, sent in 3 war wagons and batch of 5 skirms. I think bwinner wants to go Ulan heavy, but he's seen the doppelsonders. I don't know why you're training more Ulans when you've got all these doppels out in the field, but a couple of these skirms out of position. 8 skirmisher shipment first from minimoult. These doppelsonders need to stay alive as long as possible. Skirms trained off by the Minutemen. 3 war wagons, not enough here, but these skirms feel super vulnerable. Those Doppelsonders have to try and run back, and we have one Ulan in queue from Minimoult here, but no War Wagons. I don't think a War Wagon shipment here is going to soon by, and actually the Ulans have just enough to tank up some of the damage from the Doppels before the skirms and War Wagons pick them up, and this is a naked mass of skirmishers in the face of veteran Ulans. The one unit you do not want to lose your anti-cavalry composition. Minutemen being called, Colonial, okay, now veteran C Ulans trying to defend. I think just enough to hold out, actually. Those Minutemen, certainly enough to try and deal with these Ulans, and the skirmishers now focusing on the War Wagons behind this. I thought bwinner just had enough units there to roll over Minimoult, but he just was slightly falling short of his required mass, and we need to go back to when bwinner lost 5 Ulans sieging his training post to Doppelsonders, and that is something that just shouldn't happen. Doppels are very slow heavy infantry. The Ulans there, little guys on horses, these guys run fast and should get away from the Doppelsonders under all circumstances. And just imagine if bwinner had an extra 5 full HP veteran Ulans smashing into that skirmisher mass there, and maybe a few of those extra Ulans lost a bit of HP due to the splash damage. Can't be certain for that. But Minimoult surviving that, I think, is in a decent position, but training more Ulans, send in 7 skirm. Where's that War Wagon shipment from Minimoult? I feel that 7 skirm here, well, I guess you have to assume that your opponent, bwinner, is going for maybe skirm goon, get a few War Wagons out himself, and it's quite hard to know what units to go for, because each 3 unit has its essential counter unit and feels to fulfill its certain void. But 9 Ulans being shipped from bwinner. That's the kind of classic RE power shipment already spent. Minimoult yet to send his 9 Ulans. Could go 3 War Wagons himself. Let us check. Does he have 5 Doppels in his deck? No, he does not. No 5 Doppelsonders in his deck. I assume bwinner will have the exact same H3 lineup of cards as well. Black Riders have been sent by bwinner. That's nice. I like that decision. Quite a lot of players have kind of fallen out of favour with the Black Riders and usually just assume that Jaegers equals winning games, but actually bwinner is focusing heavily on cavalry, anti-cavalry compositions, and let his skirmisher mass dwindle as a result. He does have enough units here to kind of essentially deal with War Wagons, Doppelsonders if they come out, but he's not overcommitting. Looks like he does not want to win the war. Raid coming in from Minimoult does see the Black Riders, does see these veteran Ulans, and kind of gets a gauge of what bwinner is working with. Does pick off a couple of vills though, not too many. 3 vills that raid, it seems like. But the eco population behind this is still relatively same for both players. That is not the focus of the game. The focus of the game is when there's these 2 titans engage in combat. Germany on one side versus, well, Germany on the other side. There's only be one winner, and that is Germany, and it's going to be brutal. Minimoult, though, I'm waiting for his shipment. I know both players have, all the train posts have now gone down, but it's not like Minimoult's got less XP than bwinner. They've had very equal trade-off in kind of combat experience so far. I think Minimoult's got one on the way, and it has to be a mercenary shipment. It's taken a while to get sent. He does have many vills on coin at the moment. Like, it feels a little bit too much. Maybe Minimoult wants to go double mercenary shipment here. Go Black Riders first, then into Jaegers afterwards. I suppose it's just better to go for coin and then food. But while you got access to the coin, and Black Riders comes out to deal with this veteran Ulan mass. A couple of units going down already, but looking to push back actually and try and defend with the houses. Get some good path in. More skirmishers available for Minimoult to work for him to deal with the Black Riders. Black Riders of Mini has to deal with the Ulans of bwinner. There's more Ulans for bwinner at the moment. But actually getting pathed very well. Minutemen's still alive. What great units value getting out, squeezed out of these Minutemen. 1 HP near the hand cavalry. Not going to be touched here. Skirmishers focusing on the Black Riders. Black Rider count for both players dwindling 4 apiece. A couple of war wagons being trained for Minimoults here. And no more Ulans remaining for bwinner. Just imagine if Minimoult gets to send 9 Ulans at this moment. That could be such a clutch shipment. He's slightly ahead in that skirmisher count. He could even make a case for going for Jaegers. He does have 1,000 coin. Is he going to send it? No, he's going to be sending Ulans instead. And Ulans, in this sense, better shipments. And he can try and find some foods to gather to get some other units training and make war wagons send Jaegers behind this. No, make war wagons send Ulans behind this. No, he's not sending Jaegers just yet. And going to units in queue. Yeah, Ulan's been made. He's going to send Ulans anyway. That feels the play is to send 9 Ulans. I prefer to see war wagons being made at this point, but he could make 5 Ulans, send 3 war wagons. But here comes the 9 Ulan shipments. And Niners, oh, big raid right side, no house, no outpost nearby, and there's so many Ulans here. Minimoult has to respond and engage this army, but has the military advantage in terms of numbers and compositional strength, I feel like, but reinforcing 8 Ulans from that shipment, very, very strong. Come on, Minimoult, pull your army across, you need to engage this, you can't let this go unpunished, and that's such a big pickup there from bwinner. bwinner's eco also out in the open. bwinner does have his greatcoats. Ulan's going to run straight in here. It's a bit weird. bwinner's having so many villagers on food instead of coin. He's trying to find the coin mines, I guess, but he's only got 1 more coin mine on that right side. And another engagement going to happen on top of his ecos. 2 war wagons proving pivotal here. Ulan's ramming into the middle, but not actually engaging. Okay, now fights on for the Ulans. Skirmishers adding to the fight, but not really adding too much. It's essentially who can keep this Ulan mass alive the longer, but both the Ulans are going to trade off. The villagers actually could become in clutch here, tank up so much damage, could even punch down, and military population is equal. It is super equal. Both players having mainly skirms, but bwinner, 5 reinforcing Ulans. This is going to be the absolute. This is going to be such a big raid. This could be a moment I'll be typing Taunt 31, but. Cav raid at the moment behind, and I don't see the cav reinforcements from Minimoult at the moment. What does he have in queue? Does he have... No, he has nothing in queue. Where's his reinforcements? 2 Ulans is not going to be enough. 2 Ulans, 1 skirmisher. He's run out of coin left side. This is brutal. He's run out of coin at the worst time and just doesn't have the impetus to kind of remass. And 8 Ulans could save himself at the end of the day. Like, he's not out of it. It's not like he's lost too much military. On this tin mine with his other German counterpart here. 8 skirms sent from bwinner, strong shipments. But 8 Ulans is arguably on the way for Minimoult at this point. And batch of 5 just being trained, it looks like, and 8 about to be arriving on the field. But he needs to act because these villagers are also going to be toasted very soon. bwinner using his scouting the 5 Ulan reinforcements, and knows that these skirmishers are pretty much safe if they stay near these Ulan mass reinforcements. More units going down for Minimoult, and the resources are starting to wear thin on the map. And okay, counter raid here from bwinner, but 5 Ulans. Are they going to raid as hard as these 8, 9 Ulans? Well, the answer is no. But it looks like Minimoult's just trying to buy time and wait for a shipment to arrive. I think he has one on the way, and it should pop out very, very soon. There you go, 8 Ulans on the field. Skirm's engaging, but going to get picked off by the skirm. Good focus from bwinner, focusing down 1 skirm at a time. Okay, now Mini's going to try and push him with his Ulans, but actually going to get a good trade there. A couple of Ulans from bwinner doing the skirmishes, but he's actually losing the cav fight. And Now the Cav fights in minimoult's advantage, but reinforcing 5 is strong for bwinner. Both players out of coin. Not much coin on the map remaining. The GG being called, and bwinner takes the victory. 2-1. What a game. That was a really exciting game. We did see minimoult declining the restart for map balance reasons due hunt, but managed to sneak in that early TP again under the nose of bwinner, and then also getting the second training post in transition. Both players did lose their, well, bwinner lost his first training post, minimoult lost his second training post at roughly the similar time. Minimoult had his single TP remaining for a little bit longer and was able to get ahead in that shipment count, but importantly though, minimoult sent 600 coin, and so he was behind the age 3 shipment progression. And that's probably one thing to really notice, was the age 3 card shipment progression. Minimoult was always reacting to what bwinner did. Bwinner had that momentum as a result, and even a difference like, do I send 600 coin or not, could be the differences between winning and losing German mirrors or having the advantage. Certainly wasn't the reason. Lots of fights throughout, good even trades and good engagements, and opportunities for minimoult to crush a few fights himself. So probably minor in the grand scheme of things, but if you look at the military population, it always feels that bwinner was ahead and then minimoult caught up. bwinner's ahead, mini catches up. Even at the start of age 3, bwinner's ahead, minimoult catches up, and that's just the slight age at time and that shipment tempo advantage, but just trading off. And I suppose expect even trades because both players are playing the same civ with the same units with the same stats. That fight underneath minimoult's town centre with the Black Riders seemed really close to call, and it didn't really feel that any player there was the winner. Good Minutemen control from minimoult. More Ulans from bwinner getting picked off by the Black Riders, but both Black Riders fell down, and then just back to Skirm Ulan for the rest of the game. We can see XP and shipments. As a result of that early training post, that shipment came in a bit earlier, but in the grand scheme of things, didn't actually mean too much towards the end, actually. Okay, he got a big trade there with his Ulan's pickup there, so that's 75 XP, maybe an Explorer pickup, and that train post has been alive a little bit longer, but he just spent this extra shipment, this gap here, he's like, oh yes, I'm really ahead in that ship progression, but sent 600 coin, and it always felt that actually it was bwinner ahead. He always had that shipment out in the field before his opponent did there. Right, let's head into the next game. Right, well, next game is going to be on Bering Strait, and it's going to be the CMC bwinner to pick. Right, I need to do something off stream. I'm gonna briefly turn my mic off, but I'll be back with you for game number 4. Stick around.
Yes. Yes.
Right, guys, let me just take your attention onto the ESOC schedule for the time being. We should be able to get into this. Which one's Chrome? There you go. Need to turn off these things here. Right, so just brief attention before we move on to game number 4. We have stacked day on Sunday. 3 series for you. Optus Prime, King of Osmane kicking off the action at 12 GMT. The Castet taking on Jerry Muno, 15 GMT. And Kaiser Klein versus Maito later on in the evening will complete the tournament. Hopefully the competition is still running by then, i.e. competitively. However, Kaiser Klein, Maito, Player 7, surely the highlight of the day, and as a series I'm very, very looking forward to. I believe so far that will be casted by Edie Holland. Maybe Edie will have to check. And just take that in there. Right, you guys have now seen that. Let me hop back into AoE3 and let us crack on for the next series.
Yes.
Host has cancelled the game. Right, was it bwinner rehosting and minimoult? Have I got minimoult as a friend as well? Oh, that feels bad. I haven't got minimoult as a friend. But I got Maito as a friend. Maito's my friend. pardon me, just having a bit of a just eating a cookie in between games. Next game, Bering Strait. Russia versus French. We've seen this matchup on this map between these two players in week number 3. That was a Russia versus French and Bering Strait. Minimoult playing the French, bwinner playing Russia, and this was the only game that bwinner dropped, so maybe bwinner has reviews his strategy and going to go on a massive offensive here and correct the past upset versus minimoult this game, or in the past defeat. Minimoult maybe sticking to his guns, thinking I've already won this once, I'm going to win a game. I'm going to try and play this same matchup again on this map. Right, welcome back guys. This is game number 4 of a play-all series between minimoult bwinner. This is EPL number 2, playoffs between the Mandarin Duck Squad and the QSM Management Company. bwinner winning the German Mirror on Iowa, storming into a 2-1 lead versus, oh no, bwinner, no! Why Herd? The Musketeer so far away, that had to be a misclick. That's so unfortunate, and this is going to hurt the Russian players' ecos so much. Oh, rest in peace, bwinner. Can I try and find a map bounce reason for the rehost? I don't think I can. Both players having a deer hunt, musk ox, and 2 nearby hunts as well. Musk ox here, secondary musk ox. Only 4? This one has 5, so that's not too much of a difference. That's a big musk ox. Oh no, the 5th one here is just chilling out the snow monkeys. They're like, yo, what's up, bruv? How you doing? It's like, oh yeah, not too bad. Just guarding some 45 coin. Not too bad. And some extra hunts down to the south side, so we'll play on with this map. Minimoult finding himself a nice 40 wood treasure in the middle of the map. Quick check of both players so far, and that's the first treasure from both players have been seen. 45 coin is nearby, but let's have a look at where the other big treasures are. Pirate map down to the south reveals all the treasure locations, but actually not too many big top tier treasures going on. So far 85 wood, 2 tigers, probably the best of the bunch. Minimoult having a safe in base, 40 wood as well, that's quite nice. I don't think there's anything else too big on the map, so it looks like bwinner's going to commit to this wood treasure, and the fact that this is the first treasure he's going to pick up, I think he just wants to get this quickly, take down the tiger quickly, and don't really wait around too much, and he's trading off 200 HP for this tiger, and that is the price you pay without any kiting, but does secure the 85 wood, does secure, getting the treasure on the board, and just, bwinner didn't really know where his opponent's explorer was at that point, and there was a possibility that could have been stolen, but I think bwinner is very happy to actually see it out and pick up the wood for himself. Not really much else to talk about in Age 1, really. Not too many treasures out on the map so far, and both players, bwinner has seen his 2 musk ox deer hunts here, so we're quite happy with this hunt spawn. Bit idle though, has 14 vills out, but only getting the age up queue now and age at the same time as a French player. Not often what you'd expect here. So a bit of idle time, and that's the result of that early herding issues, as well as the fact that bwinner 85 wood, 45 coin, good treasures, but they're not food treasures. bwinner going for a trading post in transition. Not too sure I'm fully with that, but it does pay it off. Sends in 2 viewers forward, but this has been scouted by the French native scout. He knows where this is, and it hasn't been built or thrown down yet. Minimoult, he's fully gathering wood. This could have been the most safest and best use of Minutemen I would have ever seen. It's not even being constructed yet because of bwinner throwing down the early trading post. That trading post has been built. He surely sees it now. This could be an opportunity, but Minimoult is just doing French things here and getting market techs out, hunting dogs, placing mines. Had that TP from the start because the wood crit start, I believe. But that blockhouse getting up safely. French player though, exquisite herding here. What can I say? Getting, I believe this is, yeah, the 2 musk ox deer and the extra musk deer. No, the 2 musk oxes and the extra musk deer. That's so much food here for the French player. Just build a wall around your base and just sit in your base for the next 20 minutes probably. Going for steel traps, definitely needs to get great coats, at least in this matchup, as a priority. And I would argue that blunderbuss is also very justifiable here. Do need 11 CDB to one-shot a musketeer, and the fact that the blunderbuss gives your CDBs an attack of 11 range damage, but also 16 range. You could have 10 vills in the town centre, doing town centre fire, and the remaining vills outside, picking off musketeers as if they're, well, Russian musketeers. They're quite weak, and it feels bad if your military units, which you're paying for, getting picked off by villagers near enough free. 5 Cossacks, first card from bwinner. Possibly slow due to the age up time, but enough time to send them to the forward blockhouse before that's being built. And 5 muskets out in the field as well. You can see that Minimoult's already getting a few shots in. Try to pull some CBs back. He won't lose one, surely. No, gets in. 11 CBs in the town centre, the remaining villagers out in the coin mine working, and this is good for Minimoult, not overreacting with villagers in the town centre. He's not training, okay, he's just got a batch of 3 hussars out. The thing is, he's got 11 CBs out in the field at the moment. If he had blunderbuss, just march these guys over and pick these musketeers one by one off. You have the Cossacks, you know, they'll be trying to punch down the villager as well. But you have 3 hussars to fend off those Cossacks. Town centre fire helping out as well. And also villagers into hand attack with the blunderbuss. Not too shabby. 13 hand attack. Counter raid though, Minimoult. 3 hussars moving forward. Does pick off 1 villager. 1 villager though. It's enough to pull the Cossacks back. And he's actually pulling all the... He's even pulling the musketeers back because he feels he can't leave them there. Hussars could try to get out here. I feel that you don't want to stay too long. You'll be in and out like a ninja. Move in, get the kill, and retreat before the army comes. But forcing the musketeers back is a win from Minimoult. Right, second blockhouse on the original blockhouse. It's going to hamper the attempts to gather coin in late colonial fortress. I do believe the French player is aware that there's 5k coin mine on each of the corners, or the top side and the south side of the map, and there's enough coin here to sustain him into the fortress stage. I think Minimoult should be fine here. Looking to send 700 coin next card. Really hasn't been pressured here too much. And another 4 Huss out in the field, or nope, that was another Huss joining the first batch. He hasn't lost a single Hussar yet, but just a couple of Hussars out in the field, keeping bwinner cautious, like really cautious. And Minimoult with his native scout can see where the army is, if they're at the forward base or not. Doesn't scout the second stable at the moment. 5 musks in queue. 700 coin from bwinner, looking to go into musketeer Cossack production at the moment. But Minimoult's in the fortress age, unpunished, untouched. And last time this matchup happened, Minimoult won the game, French versus Russia. Looks to be in a strong position again this time. Musketeer batch of bwinner push onto the market, but looks like... Oh, he's getting the blunderbuss! I'm so excited by this. I'm hoping he can actually pull his villagers and get a good one-shot on his colonial units. I was about to say he's got all the techs he wants to, but even squeeze some time in for blunderbuss, that's just a sign of a player in top form. And, okay, his Cossacks coming in, but... These CDB don't care. They're just going to punch down the Cossacks if they're nothing. Okay, crossbows out as defensive pivot shipment in transition, and that is, I actually like, that's a smart play. Hussars can move out to snare, and there's so many CDBs here to assist in fighting if needed, but looks like they're not needed this time. But trading post up, minimoult will soon have another shipment. And I suppose the fact that he has another shipment soon is actually a testament to why that 8 Expo shipment was actually a decent play. You could say sat at home like, oh no, he hasn't really picked off many units, so I didn't need it too much, but it prevents bwinner pushing in now at a time where you could argue the French player is at his absolute weakest, but that 8 crossbows just giving himself that bit of extra confidence to stay in base. Maybe get a few more musketeers out, go for a falconet play. 3 goons as well, good is absolutely fine, 3 goons. Then you have a bit of anti-cavalry to try and defend your falconets as well. Hussars going out to the blockhouses. I'm not too sure what they wanted to try and find. I think he scouted the dead deers, especially 2 of them. Dragoons are trying to push out as well. I feel that the goons can just sit back. But I suppose the dragoons are there to keep the hussars safe. But the hussars out in the field, dragoons out in the field, and the Cossacks are running to minimoult's base. Looks like the villagers need to get really in action just to block and path block these crossbows. Minutemen being called urgently. A couple of CDBs back out on the field. 10 CDBs into the town centre, actually all coming out in the field. CDB pool moving forward, and 5 dragoons to reinforce. Now, a couple of Cossacks being made from the stables. 3 hussars catching dragoon firing, but underneath 2 blockhouse fire. It's going to go well for bwinner, and bwinner's making... I don't know if bwinner's making the right plays or minimoult's making... I'm not going to say the wrong plays, he's just getting caught out, but trading off his units for these Cossacks now is actually a good trade for minimoult. But that push from bwinner was absolutely scary, and the fact that bwinner is moving back to try and catch this does pick up a dragoon, but it's just giving time for French to gather, and in this matchup I feel you just need to be under the French town centre and just try and idle as much as you can, and more XP being given for minimoult for these trades, and that means it's another shipment. Already sent 5 dragoons, and now with 6 dragoons this army, a couple musketeers and a few minutemen still alive, and those dragoons did go down, but I think there's enough cover for a falconet shipment to be effective at this point. We'll need more dragoons though, and he's got so much food banked up, and doesn't have the market to sell off the food as well. If you have a market, the fact that you have steel traps, you can sell about 4 or 5 batches of food very, very cost effectively as well. But you're starting to run out of in-base hunts as well. The fact that minimoult's now pushed onto this coin mine, if he can get this pretty much protected with his army, he should be fine for minimoult moving forward. Three cuirassiers, also a decent shipment from minimoult. I'm not complaining about it too much. It gives you more mobility options as well. Also punishes the struts just like the falconets, and allows you to not be as open to a cav push onto your siege equipment as it is. Dragoons though, catch these Cossacks. Another big catch here. And you see minimoult's he's actually kiting towards the Cossacks into their swords, because he knows he can just trade them off. He's happy to keep the Cossacks nearby as long as he can pick these units off. minimoult, the bwinner is still massing. minimoult, I still feel that he's waiting for his power falconet shipment, but there's not. Most of those units are colonial crossbows and musketeers, not many skirms here, and there's many musketeers here from bwinner. Actually, I think bwinner's still not in a bad position. Maybe not needing to engage with the Cossacks at the moment, really, but there's so many musks here. Deceptively good these guys are. They are weaker than the European counterparts, but minimoult is having to return home, and this could be the time to call your CDB. Better CDB fighting than gathering wood, I'd say. Cossacks, good timing here. That's forcing the dragoons to stay around really, and the entire infantry mass of Mini is just crumbling behind just underneath him, and Musketeers Strelets, good path in towards the Dragoons. The Musketeers in range of Dragoons, train off very cost effectively, and now with double military population, it's still going in favour of bwinner here. Another shipment is urgently needed from Minimoult. 2 QSS being trained, but it feels like he's now lost that cover if he wants to send the Falconets. Villagers out on the map, hunting, gathering coin. Does need a blockhouse somewhere on the map to kind of cover his hunts. Just maybe one blockhouse on the top, or maybe one blockhouse on the bottom. On the bottom will make more sense. But when you just send 2 blockhouses on your near enough of your opponents, you are very open to a raid. And bwinner is one of those. Is in a position where if you carry on playing like this, I feel you're still in a decent position. But just a 2 QSA raid could be game changing, and you wouldn't want such a small thing like that just to spell the end of your game. bwinner zones off the French player from these 3 mines. He pathed around back from the town centre to check where he's mining. He now smells out where the French eco is. He's pushing down to the south, and so is Minimoult. Both armies making their way down to the southern side, and that's where the French player's been gathering coin all this time. And so is Minimoult, really, to be honest. Like, he kind of needs to protect his own eco while pushing the French player's eco. And now he's actually pushing the economy at the same time. I think bwinner's going to get some better results, but he's so far away from his home blockhouses. 700 food being sent forward as well. Okay, now it feels like Minimoult has that mass again. 52 population to 42. It's probably a safe time to send those Falconets. That shipment should be in for Minimoult soon. He still has that TP to help out. Not many Strelets now available for bwinner. I feel that he needs to up his Strelet count. He does have a healthy number of Musketeers still to kind of help deal with these QSAs. Even more Cossacks. Also, good unit versus what French players got. A nice amount of Dragoons though. He wants to pull back his Cossacks a little bit, but Strelets moving forward, trying to trade off the Strelets versus the Dragoons and allow this Huss competition from the French player to push him behind. Now the QSAs have gone down, Musketeers are marching on into the army. Now the Cossacks are engaged in the skirmishes. The Dragoons really have to stay and fight, but bwinner backing off there. Maybe just sacrificing his Cossacks to be able to connect, be able to retreat, but actually felt that the Cossacks engaged in it allowed bwinner to connect his cheap units with the French players' more expensive units in short range and can trade off. But I think Minimoult now sending Falconets at a time where he has an cavalry cover in the form of 8 Dragoons, and to be honest, skirmishers at this point pretty decent in terms of body blocking at least, so they can do their own magic there. But Falconets moving across the map. Villagers hunting this musketeer here. Another blockhouse going down. No blockhouse on these coin mines here, and bwinner is starting to pay the price of no map control. Full blockhouse though, great position. Doesn't scout the Falconets just yet, but he does now. With a couple of rounds to the Strelets. And oh, that's a long range. And a bounce shot as well onto his Musketeers behind as well. Very, very nice indeed. Cossacks moving forward again, getting picked off. Just enough Dragoons here to dissuade any cavalry play from bwinner. But, bwinner really needs those cav. But I feel that Minimoult has just got a little bit too much there to deal with. And I think the fact that Minimoult's just been in this position in the third age, out the map safely, it just speaks volumes. There's just no way Minimoult can really push into these Falconets, and what he now needs from Minimoult, he has Dragoon Mass, he now needs a QSS switch to go on the offensive onto the mines. That would be absolutely very, very strong. He has skirmishers here, train off the infantry, enough Dragoons here to deal with the Cossacks. Cossacks are going down so fast. They do have their boyars, but Falconets are getting so many good volleys off, and looks like the infantry's got to close in for the final engagement, try to pick off something here, but bwinner, he knows he can't do it. The GG comes out, and GG's been called 2-all after 4 games. think bwinner really that trading post. I guess it paid off, but the entire build it felt slow and lethargic. That blockhouse eventually got thrown up. Wasn't time for the 5 Musketeer 4 Cossack batch to start off with, but that early herding, bwinner cost that age up time by about 15 seconds. I'm guessing it's as significant as that. It's just so much damage that a single wrong click in the first age can really cause. Did have the market up. I think bwinner went for the market, not in transition, but on that 700 wood shipment, which I think is the correct play. Otherwise, if you go TP and market in transition, well, you're not training musketeers, and the French player is just very happy to carry on. Minimoult market. He built a second market. Did he get a second market for amalgamation? Maybe he had the market just there to help trade resources as well, which is, in times like this, selling off food makes absolute perfect sense to try and get the coin required for full batches of skirm, dragoon, or cuirassiers. Cav combating as well, just as the final moments, just further reinforces Minimoult's position at this point. Minimoult, great coats, blunderbuss, strong, tanky CDBs. Quick look at his deck actually. Does he have any villager upgrades? He does have pioneers and wilderness warfare, so if things got really sticky for Minimoult in the second age, he could upgrade his crossbows, upgrade his no crossbows here, but upgrade CDBs, massive HP CDB increase here for the pioneers, send Hussar HP as well. But the nice thing was Minimoult was never forced to send extra cards in the second age. He never really lost many villagers. Okay, lost one, but I'll take that trade any day versus Russia. And he was allowed to get to the Fortress Age, where that age up was not punished. And I feel that bwinner kind of lets that happen. Like, he was kind of happy to play that happen and then try and play the contain game. I think bwinner's plan was to gold starve the French player, but you ain't gold starving a French player with a 5k mine on the other side, on the opposite side where all those blockhouses are. I think you see that coin, it will flatline briefly. Minimoult was out of coin, thinking, oh my god, I'm out of coin, where do I go now? Oh wait, got 5k coin mine down to the south, and let's look at the end. 1500 remaining. He's gathered 3,500 from that coin mine, unraided as well. It was just continuous gathering, and that was enough to get the units out. And I think good control from Minimoult's dragoons essentially to keep the dragoon mass alive. The dragoon mass was enough to keep Cossacks at bay, and then your skirms can just trade off versus these very cheap weak musketeers. And I suppose skirms versus 120 HP musketeer, it just takes 120 HP, 36, 4 shot kill, which is very strong. And throughout the game, the French player and Russian player equal in military population, but the Russian player, you want more military population. Your units are weaker, they're an age down, they're cheaper as well, so you just need to outmass. There was a brief period where Minimoult looked to be in a little bit of trouble. QSS going down musketeers, but actually a strong reinforcement batch, and bwinner was running for the hills at that point. So, good game. Let's move into game number 5. Minimoult has picked the toilet sieve, so I'm guessing he's going to be picking the Ottomans, but no, he's sat on the British at the moment. Who was to pick first in this matchup? CMC, that's game, not bearing straight, that's bwinner. So man, that squad, this is Minimoult's pick. Minimoult going British on Dhaka. Give you anxiety, would be proud of you, my boy. He'll be very, very proud of you, but I feel that the British on Dhaka is an awkward civ, to say the least. It's just, there's a lot of food, a lot of hunts nearby, 4 extra hunts behind a TC as well, a lot of resources, sea, lots of things that you can say it's a great British map, but it feels it plays to other civ strengths that a little bit more. And bwinner going for the Ottoman, who played Otto on Dhaka last time, and I think it's probably actually going for... I think Minimoult's not gone for Otto this time, because the last time we played on Dakar, it was an Ottoman mirror, where bwinner won the Otto mirror. So I think Minimoult's thinking, I don't want to go for the mirror game. He wants to go for a different way of playing at this point, so he's going to go for the British pick. Right, while the players are waiting, I think Minimoult's just a little bit out of the room. I'm going to take a very, very small break or eat something to keep my energy up through the stream, because we've now been going for about 2 hours at this point.
Yes. Yes.
Right, players are back. They're ready to continue. I'm ready to continue. Let's go into game number 5. Still another 3 games to go. This is a playoff 7, remember guys. Long series, long for us as casters, long for the players as well, and I'm putting a bit of work here, casting. However, I'm not having to mentally exert myself as much as the players are in a tournament setting, so I really appreciate these players going for a playoff 7. It must be very draining. However, this is the peak of the tournaments. They have earned the right to be in the playoffs, and we've been seeing some great games so far this series, and they've been showing us why these 2 teams, the QSA Management Company and the Mandarin Duck Squad, have booked their place in the playoffs. Right, scores are 2 apiece, and we're spawning in on Dakar. Both players having 4 back hunts, checking the LEs. Yeah, it's all fine. Let's carry on with this one. Wood crate start, bwinner throwing down it in base, Mosque going for a trading post on the top side. Bit of an awkward path in here. I'm not too sure where bwinner's going and what he's looking for at this point. He needs to go straight to that trading post, and I think he's just missed that first pass. The result of this awkward path in here from bwinner. He hasn't picked up a treasure, has he? Oh, he's picked up 40 wood. No, he must have shot the thing. Oh, has he been chopping? Well, alright, so 400 wood start. Saw the 40 wood. Went for the minute system. Chopped 10 remaining wood for the trading post. And he may have missed a pass, but I think if you run straight there, I think you can get it. It's close, but I think bwinner may have missed that first pass there for a slight increase of his villager training speed slightly earlier. If you can get that early TP pass, it's just so much more worth it. So you already have that house down, so you can just send that free bill shipment that much earlier and make it much more effective. He's just sent his first shipment without the benefits of a trading post receiving its XP pass and only getting that shipment from the TP construction XP, which is 40 XP. Minimoult, playing British, spawning in the right side in the colour orange. Gone for a TP start himself, needs to get out on that train route line, contest it from the Ottoman player as well, with that on that 300 wood crate start, and then 1 mana at home, which I think Minimoult would have had to chop an extra bit of wood for that, yes, so an extra 35 wood just to get himself going. But I also picked up 40 wood, so no wood chop there. So idleless in terms of wood gathering, so a nice stronger early play from Minimoult. Feels like both players are trying to work the Yaks, but bwinner hasn't really been going for the Yaks. He's actually sending the Yaks home to be et straight away, and I like this play from bwinner. Yaks, I think I'm correct in saying this. Yaks are like llamas, so they're the Asian equivalent of llamas, where the water buffalo are like the cows and the goats are like the sheeps. Yaks, they seem to start off with a higher food count, but they actually, their food increases. It feels like their food increases much slower than other livestock. So actually, you want to get that food benefit straight away and age it faster and get your progression going much faster. But the actual benefit of leaving these Yaks to fast up a little bit later probably doesn't actually correlate to too much behind this, and might be a reason why bwinner didn't go for many more Yaks behind this as well. And Minimoult has 4 Yaks to his name, while bwinner only has 1. He's already ate 1 and may eat another Yak as well to get that Fortress age up. He did get 100 food treasure here. I did see it in the corner of my eye. Big treasure there for the Ottoman player. Guessing that age up in a decent time as well. Also having good resources in the next age. Getting wood. Chopping wood for an extra bit of wood income. Looking to throw down another trading post, it looks like. Gonna drop the trading post on Minimoult's side. This explorer, Sir William, from British, paying homage to interjection. Would not be strong enough here to take down the Ottoman explorer. Wall coming across here for Minimoult. Aging up. Mark it down, hunting dogs. Hunting dogs before Gangsaw. Hopefully Gangsaw can queue as well. Otherwise that feels a bit awkward. But I suppose he's just saving that the food for the veal, and actually not chopping too much wood here, going straight back onto the food already. Governor age up, 1 outpost moving. And how many times have we seen a town centre and outpost placed on this exact tile? And I think this map, this trading post spawns a little bit closer to the pond than this one does. There's a little bit more of an island's jagged edge here for that outpost to sit. It's really minor, and it probably varies between each game as well, but defensive outpost of Minimoult's Governor age up on the opposite side of the river. Both players can send ships and they can be safe in that quadrant only, but only literally that size. I think only 1 galley / caravel can be protected from the other person's outpost. These guys have a huge 14 range damage, and I don't think any player wants to ships this game. It feels risky. 300 wood from 700 coin from bwinner aging up. Minimoult just sent himself there 700 wood. So that's our opening shipments. bwinner, if he had some extra Yaks, he could be eating those right now. Could be clicking up. Actually, it feels he's gathering up the wood now, but he's still yet to age, and it feels like a slow age from bwinner. I know it's not, but it just feels that you can be faster. Oh, that's why he chopped wood for a second train post in transition. So that's the delay there for the Ottoman player. That wood shipment comes in, or 1 villager moving forward to revive the Ottoman explorer. Barracks down here, probably 3rd training post could be quite smart. And let's have a look at what bwinner has planned on this map. Abe's gun upgrades for a prolonged age 2. No 700 foods in bwinner's deck. So Jan playing H2 is firmly off the cards and can be seen from minimoult if he scouted it. 3 shipments to be put into the middle pond or southern sea. I'm yet to see a player send a ship into one of these northern ponds if a player expands their eco to the north side. Could be a bit fun. Pike play from minimoult. Mini going pikes in the Dutch game versus Otto. Now going pikes as Brit versus Otto. And is early pikeman a bit of a counterplay to Ottoman? It looks like it is. This outpost is basically denying the Brit player sending ships into the pond, but with this outpost gone, minimoult really has free reign of this pond, and that provides map control over this trading post, map control over both the passes. bwinner. 2 shipments being stacked up, not sending a shipment during the transition, and all stagecoach coming in and 3rd TP coming up, but you really don't have much of a control here over the ponds. This feels awkward. minimoult would have seen this, the stagecoach come in, and probably could even go 2 caravels straight away from minimoult. Let's look at his deck. Yeah, he has the caravels, he has offshore support as well, which gives extra range, quite useful. Lots of shipments, and even has 2 monitors in deck, and I like this card. Stronger on RE, of course, but EP though. The bases are very close to water. The southern sea is very close, and also close to the middle pond. 2 monitors can shell your town centre at any point, and let's say you expand to the north side. Even dropping 2 monitors here can nuke factories hidden away in the corner. Okay, 2 caravels coming in. Otto flag placed in the water, quite far from the edge here. If his caravels still stay here, I think if he's going for the 3 galley shipment, he'll still get... Oh, frigate comes in, and it just about gets in there. That seemed really close, but frigate has safely arrived. Janissary is fighting the musketeers. Pikeman scaring the hussars off, trying to micro the caravels. 1 caravel trying to do the caravel dance and dodge frigate shots, but not enough there. Could probably need to be a bit closer and should go around to the side of the frigates. Good trade though in the end for minimoult on land, but this frigate is super strong. But actually, imagine to dodge and prolong. The more you can kite and dance with the ships, the longer the fight on the water goes. But that doesn't affect the outpost damage. And 2 caravels and an outpost that just nukes 1 frigate. bwinner trying to shoot the caravel down at Janitor. It's not going to happen though. Caravel sieging these train posts down, and it feels like bwinner, does he commit to another shipment to defend this? Like, I feel that you need to defend your TP. Well, you've lost 1 train post, you're losing your 2nd one. Looks like bwinner is possibly going for mosque upgrades. Age up coming in, Admiral of the Ocean Sea from minimoult. Want to go for another galley in the centre portion of the map. Very, very smart. Yeah, just get your 2nd caravel in, back up your 1st one, and you're under the cover of the outpost. So very, very strong play. And that early taking down the Falconet is just so huge. Okay, Falconet's going to come out from minimoult. We'll pick up the caravel, but you know what? That's not too bad, because minimoult knows where bwinner is. He knows what he's doing. But bwinner does not know what minimoult's doing, and he won't expect the caravel drop on the pond. Raiding with pike. The pikeman raids in the train post or sieging it down. Muskets try to go for a vil kill in base. Villagers, no greatcoats. These musketeers will definitely one-shot, and we need to be a bit careful. Jan's Falconet's moving topside to try and pick up his pikeman, but he's just delaying his own push. And the eco is so heavily in favour of the Brit player, even with his TP as well. That's been like that for quite a while. Okay, age up about to be completed. Caravel shipped to the middle pond, as well as 400 wood. Steel traps as well for minimoult. Minimoult has just got such a strong eco. Look at this food in count as well. Not losing a single vil, but does have 10 vils idled up. 1 Falconet train from a artillery foundry, scouted by minimoult. Trying to get a good broadside attack onto the caravel. Will he get this volley off? Where's the special attack? Oh, it's so awkward. Not even picking up a Falconet. But that Falconet so low HP. minimoult's just cancelled shipment, resent it. Could it be Falconets here? Could it be a frigate? You know that the frigate's already gone from your opponent, but 3 galleys would beats the frigate. Hussar ray comes top side, and I think how these Hussars will do will actually basically determine what kind of shipment's being sent. He's not focusing on the 8 HP Falcon. Okay, that does go down. Trading off the Hussars, it seems, for it, but allowing the Musketeers behind to get some good volleys on the Janissaries, and decent trade. Colonial unit still. Vet Jan coming in only now feels a little awkward. Ship movement flag has just moved into the centre. 3 galleys are about to come here for bwinner. He needs the space for all 3 to spawn. 2 Falconets though, ready to receive them. And there they come. But these guys, 600 HP. These will get 2 shots. Does one shot snipe the Falconet, gets a good volley off as well, but gets another volley on the CP cock. 100 HP per shot from the outpost. Second galley goes down. He's trying to move his Falconet in terms of some cute micro, but that 3 galley shipment, it just didn't feel super impactful there, was it? Picked off 1 Falconet, but the others, galleys just dropped. Now, bwinner knows that the frigates and the 3 galleys are being used. Does he go for frigate support now at this point? This is an interesting decision. Otherwise, he's going for 9 musketeers, and any other card doesn't really make too much sense. Could go for 8. Could go for 8 settlers now. And with these culverins, that is enough reinforcing units. Vet Musk. So he spent time researching Vet Musk. May not enough time to train more musketeers. So the 9 musketeers now make perfect sense. Ship the musks, upgrade the musks in the barracks, and defend any water play with the 2 culverins. And the culverin picked off another Falconet as well, so it's not exactly wasted culverins here. But hey, if your name's Minimoult, who needs culverins when you got musketeers? that galley was trapped. It just couldn't run anywhere due to this outpost. It's such fun games watching Dakar. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but that was such a back and forth game. Really interesting. The GG has been called, and Minimoult tactically outwitting the Ottoman opponent there with just the right card at the right time, it seemed. Minimoult is 3-2 up after 5 games. Oh, it looks like those 5 Hussars were made in a sense. My apologies there. Sometimes it looks like, wow, he just sent the 5 Hussar for a forward-thinking shipment. What a great move. But no, 5 Hussars made, and when you have such a good strong eco like Minimoult and steel traps and hunting on your 4 extra hunts, elephants in base as well as those starting deers, yeah, so much food to spare and could easily afford those extra Hussars. Only had a single barracks, but I suppose also invest into artillery foundry later on in Age 3. Your wood is a bit, you haven't got too much wood. I suppose he's just set his TP to wood income, and that Age 1 training post upgraded to stagecoach for free by your Ottoman opponents. What a kind person bwinner is, and Minimoult made the most of that extra wood eco probably from the training post. 3 production buildings, Vet Musk, 150 mana pop as well, and there's just enough to defend. But bwinner losing the frigates to the 2 caravels, that just felt awkward. Obviously the outpost was working, but you saw how one caravel is just trying to delay the frigate. The frigate has to turn to fire onto the caravel instead of continuously firing, and that just slowed the frigate's damage output, which allows the other caravel to stay on the field longer doing damage, but also allowed the outpost to do more damage as well. So real good control there from Minimoult. bwinner's outpost nuked by more pikemen from Mini. And Minimoult liking his early pike play, and it seems to be working actually versus Ottoman players. It makes it, and I think what it is, it's just trying to punish Ottoman players sending forward outposts when, if they're not covered, not protected, they are vulnerable. They only have 30 range attack. Possibly missing the early TP pass from Ottoman players as well. That was, if not huge, but I felt that that's a bigger benefit than that slightly earlier Abbasid market. Really strong eco from Brit, as to be expected. Military population doesn't really tell you the story here, because a lot of that fights was happening with buildings and ships as well, and they don't cost population, so it's really hard to see what's going on. But looks like the Ottoman player really, once it got to the next stage, was just he lost that pond control, and really a good engagement there from minimoult. Pikes on the Hussars, Musketeers on the Colonial Janissaries. I didn't really catch the full fight there. I was eyes on in the middle, but I think the camera saw the fights to the top right side. But reinforcement stronger for the Brit player. 9 Musks here, good shipments to back up the 2 culverins as well, to firmly take control of that final falconet. Final Seaguy taking down Musketeers, but just no way for bwinner to come back, and minimoult still have access to further pond control with the frigate. Can ferry the culverins across and just provide a very useful defensive position on the beachfront on the Ottoman player's side, and yet the game was resigned. Well played there by minimoult, like really well played actually. That was quite impressive how that dynamic of the ships, just how it wasn't just like both these cards being traded off equally. It looks like minimoult just got better value from those shipments there. Is there naval units? I don't think there's a naval unit tag here to see, but final thing to say would be look at that trading post. Where's the trading posts? It's somewhere. Trading posts. Yeah, Ottoman briefly had 3 TP, but had 2 TP stagecoach funded on that 700 wood, but wasn't really beneficial. Only giving him a 1 additional TP eco versus the Brit, but the Brit was milking that TP for the entire game, and that's very, very nice. Wait, what's this in the chat? So Harrison has illegal UI installed. Excuse me? What is going on here, guys? I'm having the UI provided by AZ11. Special shout out to AZ11 in the chat, designing the spectator observer mode, and we all thank him very much for it. The UI is not free. After a 40-day trial period, you must either buy a license or remove it from your PC. Ever the businessman AZ is. I think it's interesting to note bwinner, Fisher, Otto, Mr. Botto himself has lost both his Ottoman games this tournament series, losing Otto versus Dutch, losing Otto versus Brit, but managing to win with China and German. So who says Ottoman is bwinner's main civ at this point? And he's going for China again on Lumarco, a civ which greatly benefits from that wood creation H1 here. I think minimoult going Otto could be alright, but we have seen it's actually somewhat. It feels like China's slightly favoured if they can defend. If you have good defense skill, you can survive, get up, and get those better units out. And it feels like the Ottoman players is kind of stuck sending colonial Jans and Hussars into their death, and it just works very well. So I guess minimoult's really thinking about this pick. But looks like he's gone French and probably just taking a break outside the room. So China versus French. Both players winning with their Chinese and their French players so far as tournament. So let's see who's going to come out on top this time. We didn't see China come out from bwinner in last series, him versus minimoult, and didn't have enough time to kind of check into other stuff, into other matchups. But you know, bwinner, 10 wins, 10 losses before this game. minimoult, 12 wins, 13 losses. Yeah, both have had an alright series. minimoult costing 675 duck coins versus bwinner's 1550. So that's the difference, and minimoult has provided much more cost benefit or cost per point ratio than his opponent. So that's why minimoult's done really well for the Ducks so far, considering his even point trades. He's allowed his stronger teammates to pick up the point advantage, and rightfully so. And as a team collectively, that is why they're in the final versus the CMCs. Alright, spawning in Lou Marco, a map with an extra wood crates. Minimoult though, only one wood. Yeah, so 2 wood crates, so 1 normal spawning wood crate, 1 extra. Still going for the early train post, but will have to chop the wood for the wood required for their house. Does he see any treasures nearby? Stray dog, bit of food, not wood, not what we wanted to see. And it's the same story for bwinner, going for that early TP as well. Chopping the wood for another village in base. He needs that village to get the population space for villagers and the shipments. So same story for both Sears, and both players kind of starting off the same place at the moment. A nearly mature cougar kit that you can tame. I heard bwinner's an expert at taming cougars, but that's another story, shall I say. I'm just messing, that was pulled out of thin air. I think that was minimoult just scouted that 70 food to the north, but bwinner has been sitting around this nearly mature bear cub, and minimoult's also going for it. bwinner's nearby. We're going to have a bit of an explorer face-off here. War Dog Loco coming up for minimoult. Only 85 HP though. This Age 1 Explorer should be enough to really tear this dog apart, but luckily for bwinner, this is a pet, not a converted treasure guardian, so I wouldn't say resists Explorer fire. It might resist it actually. Is it classic Explorer? No, it's just it's hand infantry. Of course it's hand infantry. Why would it not be? And a pet. General P also hand infantry. I didn't realise skirms do double damage versus pets. I always thought that one of the advantages of pets is that they essentially have their own unique tag, which is a pet, and no other tag, so they kind of tank a lot of other fire. Does that mean grizzly bears also count as hand infantry? So I always thought grizzly bears very good versus bow pike units, but crossbows having this marginal multiplier versus heavy infantry or hand infantry, shall I say, could get some extra damage off on these pets. Not really much in terms of treasures, really. 40 XP, 40 coin for bwinner. Getting the food to age up. minimoult aging up with 14 vills as standard. All chopping the wood at this point. Going for 100 coin, 2 outlaw blow gunners. Market coming down, going for the techs. Appears to be going for market techs instead of going for a second trading post. 100 coin really helps out with the hunting dogs to kick off your techs, and then steel traps as well. Probably steel traps versus China. I think we're going to see a fortress face off here. Both sides prefer going to the third age, and both sides could be at a significant disadvantage if they go for colonial play, and it just does not work. It feels that both players have the very safe play of going for the fast fortress style. Trying to wall in this, trying to wall in the monk, but if you're building pillars, you can walk through pillars which are not built, but you need to delete the pillar for it to close off the gap, shall I say. But actually no, it looks like minimoult's actually made a full wall at full max length spacing, so if you delete the pillar, there's enough gap for infantry to run through. So he does need to keep that pillar there, go back on the other side, and then build it. It looks like, yeah, he's got to do that, come back on the other side, build these wall segments here. 3 CDBs throwing down a barracks, and that just tells you everything you need to know. minimoult wants to make units out and try and knock down this TP and go for stagecoach. Otherwise, there's just no sense making the barracks with 3 villagers versus China. You could even just naked FF here as French and not really go for military units, but that barracks wasn't scouted out by bwinner. It was scouted out by a minimoult. Duck has gifted a sub to Molt. Who knows? Maybe we have many Molts in the community. We might have a minimoult the 21st, minimoult the 22nd is around the corner. 4 CDBs being sent for the French player. Steel traps being researched as well. Possibly a late steel traps in comparison. 3 musketeers first batch. This feels very theory so far from minimoult. Just opening up with barracks, 2 houses, steel traps on as well. But actually, yes, 85. Where's this extra wood come from? Has he over chopped all this wood? Where's 85 wood just magically not gone? So you have 20 population from age 1, 2 houses on the 400 wood, and the barracks, that's 400 wood, that's the age up. It just looks like minimoult has an extra 85 wood, as you do. So a bit of macro errors there, possibly. Maybe minimoult upgraded his hunting dogs or place mines and forgot to realise that he had already upgraded that and carried on chopping. No matter though, wood coming in, sieging down the train post, explorers nearby as well, so I'm expecting the explorer to try and capture this line himself. 4 more reinforced musketeers. It feels like this should be 10 musketeers though instead, or 5 pike. It feels 7 musketeers, just it still does the job, but much more slowly. And when you're trying to go for economy off your play, i.e. extra TPs at the same time, it just feels not working out. 4 muskets though should get a 2-shot kill on the villager, but a bit of power issues around the guanacos. This villager should live, and I think it's going in the town centre, and that's nice. Villager not dying. Good recovery there from bwinner. Even keeping the musketeers busy with the explorer, but you don't really want to lose too much HP on this guy. You get so much XP when you age up. But that age up coming from bwinner is happening fast. Up with the Confucian Academy though. I may not have had a full read on what the French player was doing. Porcelain Tower could have worked here as well. Yeah, no, deleting the pillar closes the gap. No, I didn't mean, I got that wrong. But the fact that he went to build this one, but because he's actually got the full length wall instead of like the shorter walls where you can delete the pillars and you can't run through because of the shorter wall of segments. If you deleted this pillar, you still can't run through it, but that pillar's now no longer there because minimoult had a full wall of segment here. That explorer escaped, and that is unfortunate. It's not the biggest deal breaker, but I suppose I like to always try and be right. If I'm wrong, I apologise. Minimoult, 7 musk, semi-FF behind this. Stable down on the 700 wood, 2 houses as well, and a trading post. So that's 600. Great cuts coming in. But I'm still missing some wood count from minimoult. Maybe he's going to go stagecoach here. Alright, musketeers engaging with the arquebusiers. Arquebusiers should have a good fight here, but they got really close to the musketeers, and it feels like it shouldn't be that close to musketeers. But bwinner is correcting the mistake and is now picking off musketeers for free, and so has got some alright value out of those arquebusiers. But I suppose for minimoult, he doesn't really mind. The muskets are kind of awkward, and again, it's just getting in close range, and picking another arquebusier out at the moment is quite a nice pickup. Oh, does pick off the retreating musketeer, that's quite nice. Right, intervention first card, bwinner. Redcoats, going for a brick consulate here. You could go Russia. Russia, send Cossacks, but then at some point go for the force and try and control the entire middle part of the map. That could be super strong, but I just don't think how many players and how he plays France is be out there and aggressive. You definitely don't have time, so British musketeers and redcoats intervention seems to be a very strong move. Five dragoons though, first shipments. Maybe just protect himself from a 5 meteor hammer shipment or a cav batch. I suppose the China player always can send 5 meteors and cav batch at the same time and basically have 9 really strong veteran cavalry out on the field early on, which could have overwhelmed those skirmishers. So minimoult playing safe there with the Dragoon shipments. I can't disagree with people playing safe, especially when the converse, if you sent, let's say, 8 skirm and only had like a batch of 3 or 4 Dragoons, the potential ramifications again that call wrong could be disastrous. So bwinner now trained a cav batch and the 5 meteors, so that timing did happen, but slightly after we expected. A couple of skirms out. They get picked off by the meteor hammer's long range. Dragoons having to run back and getting really close to the cavalry units. Let's look at units lost at the moment. It feels a bit like Mini has lost just units where he really well, I mean, both players lost units when they really shouldn't have. Minimoult losing 2 skirms, a bit awkward. The 7 musketeers did alright, but no Vil kill and only 1 training post siege. Maybe 5 musketeers could have done the same job, or even 5 pikes at that point. Maybe you didn't need that second house on that barracks and 2 houses being dropped on that 400 wood age up. It feels like bwinner's playing has an aggressive builds or style here with the Confucian Academy, but he's not really pressing that advantage. He did rebuild that train post though, and he's on the trading line with Stagecoach, so minimoult really didn't stamp bwinner off the line there. If minimoult was going Stagecoach, maybe take down this TP, build your own TP here, and then force the China player to either capture the middle one, capture the middle one, or siege your own one at the top side, and that would give minimoult more time then to kind of capture the middle for a 3 TP to 0, but 2 to 1 versus China, and bwinner now sending Archibald says, I would really like bwinner's next card, if he doesn't engage soon, to be Repelling Volley, and go into skirm flail batches could be nice. Go Imperial. Could be nice. Yeah, Imperial Army, flails and arquebusiers. Arquebusiers deal with the dragoons, flails deal with the skirmishers. You're not going to lose Changdaos to random skirm fire. A lot of people don't like the Imperial Army, but it has its places, and versus what minimoult's working with could work really well. There's so many dragoons here. This must be a massive light for minimoult to stop with the cavalry batches and start massing skirms. Imperial is one way to do that, as well as standard cheaper, but the repellent volley would work so well. 10% damage increase for the arquebusiers, so essentially you'll be about 18 or 17.5 damage. Within a ×3 versus light cavalry, so these dragoons will be cut down much quicker, and these arquebusiers can just trade a little bit more effective. Minimoult, no 2 falconets just yet. Flying Crow out the field for bwinner, and this unit, even if it just tanks damage, it's pretty nice. 285 HP, 75% range resist. But bwinner's light infantry control here has been quite nice, moving in, picking off units. But minimoult trying to kite away and retreat. Do you think minimoult's going to go for a big cuirassier batch? He did train 5. He did have 3 being sent. He's got 5 on the queue. He's also throwing down the arsenal. I'm expecting text being researched, cavalry creators to come in at the same point and really maximise the HP on those 8 cuirassiers. And I think minimoult with the 8 cuirassier play, he's banking on the fact that he needs this to work. Could even send cavalry combat and push in with cav combat, cav QAs. Maybe range cavalry caracol, but doesn't have the wood. Needs to back off though. Lost 2 dragoons there. Cavalry creators is coming in, so he's just going to play for the technology game. Shipment's just been sent from minimoult. Most likely going to be the cav combat here. I just don't see the falconets working. It can work. It feels like it should work, but there's so many meteor hammers here out in the field that it's just they can absolutely smash apart those falconet pieces with their distance attack and multiplier versus artillery. So Curious has been researched. No cavalry caracol just yet. Might be a bit too expensive, but minimoult, he's getting the wood for it. nearly up to 300 wood. Cavalry combat has just been researched, and the fact that if you go for ranged cavalry caracol as well, both those upgrades kind of work really well. You have more range. Ranged cavalry caracol gives you more damage, but also the cav combat just gives you that extra damage as well, another 15%. So 25% damage dragoons and range, nicely strong. But I'm not seeing where that wood's been spent. Is it being put into more houses just yet? I'd really like to see ranged cavalry caracol in, but looks like that wood was invested into other things. Okay, push coming in though. Cav combat is enough, and a big massive carry of veteran cuirassiers. Smashing straight into the heavy cavalry. Dragoon's good position onto the meteor hammers. Flying crow is still working, but it's firing on the cuirassiers, not doing too much damage. Heavy infantry from bwinner is just walked in the front, in the face of these skirmishers. These skirms don't even need to micro these, are working their wonders on the redcoats. Cavalry, veteran cuirassiers are still standing, actually now working their way on the heavy infantry and still tanking that heavy cavalry. Will go down before the light arquebusiers go down, but you have enough skirmishers to clean this up, and what a fight that was for minimoult. What a great fight that was. GG has been called, and game number 6 goes to minimoult. Also had the double skirm upgrade minimoult at that point, but didn't need skirms, went into cavalry, and I liked that play. I liked how minimoult, instead of going skirm heavy and go skirm goon, kind of went for an equal 3-part of skirmisher dragoon cuirassiers with an emphasis on dragoons, because you have the 2 cavalry units fighting off each other. Dragoons from minimoult really helping out with that, taking down those cavalry units, and had more reinforcements in. I still feel that ranged cavalry caracol at the end, before that big fight could happen, was achievable and would have been beneficial, but that's nitpicking. That was a great fight for minimoult. We'll see that in military population and how that just absolutely falls apart there for both players really, but it felt that at that point the French player still had an army behind it and could have cleaned up the remaining units. So yes, there was still a couple cuirassiers. Okay, Flying Crow, 7 population, that's still standing, that's taking a lot. A lot of these arquebusiers about to go down to the 4 cuirassiers and a couple of reinforcing skirmishers, they're going down. So that entire army is wiped out. Eco behind, relatively even you could argue, but no porcelain tower and no market. No market whatsoever for bwinner. I suppose he was trying to press his advantage while he could. But maybe you could argue he was a little slow in the third age. Pushed in when the French player was his strongest. Yeah, minimoult way out gathering the Chinese player. No market, no porcelain tower. Really hurt in this case. Couple 3-unit batches as well, so it's not as clear, not as, black and white, should I say, between these 2 eco lines, but yeah, that resonation I fully understand. Right, I want to check that TP line actually. When did bwinner get back out on that line? That's quite important. Yeah, he got back onto it after he got to the fortress age, but with no porcelain tower for wood income, he had to chop that himself. And it looks like minimoult never had 3 TPs, so that was just a vacant slot. But bwinner got back onto line, so nicely played there. Even 3 TPs at the end, I missed that. Yeah, so he invested into the woods to get the TPs instead of investing into reinforcing his army for reinforcements, and yeah, nah. bwinner likes his stagecoach eco, but sometimes it just hasn't been paying off for him in his last games, and that's probably the common theme really, is stagecoach is just not great when you don't have full control for a prolonged time.
Yes.
That there was minimoult's victory, 4-2 up after 6 games. 1 more game to play, and then I'll be done for tonight. What a long cast this has been. Oh, it's not too bad actually. About going live for about 3 hours 12. It's about 2.5 hours casting, 2:45 possibly. Yeah, it's not too bad. About 3 hours for this playoff 7. Previous series yesterday went on for a really long time, around about 3.5 to 4 hours. Sometimes I look through the comments and read them out, but when it's top players arguing about strategy and micro and this and that, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to stay out of this. Let you guys discuss it out, and I don't need to go into the chat and pick a side. You've heard my opinion from the cast. I don't. To be honest, I'm not the same level to specifically feel what's going on. But it just felt that bwinner was slow that game, especially when you're going for the Confucian Academy. Looks like minimoult's back on. Spain coming out from bwinner. Get on that Spain pain train hype for game number 7 on Fraser River. I need to say, at the start of the series, the Mandarin Duck squad up 5-2 versus the QSA Management Company, thanks to Perez defeating Kevin Italian 5-2. Currently, minimoult's up against bwinner 4-2, so Mandarin Duck squad up 9-4 so far. Could it be 10-4, or can bwinner salvage some pride and come back at 8? What is it? Score now? It's 3-4-2 9. I have no idea. Quick maths has gone out the window for me. 9-5. Yeah. Why was that so hard to work out? I don't know. Feels bad. Ooh, that sucks. Double forward coin mine. If players could rehost their own games for map balance reasons, like a instant rehost after 30 seconds for any reason, that could be a possible rehost case for minimoult. In terms of actual balance, no, 2 nearby hunts, 2 mines, as you would normally expect. You could argue bwinner's second mine is even further, but that's nitpicking. Hunt 2 there, possibly hunt not missing there. 3. Yeah, that's all fine between the players. Dutch versus Spain on Fraser River. It was a wood crate start to kick the day off with. bwinner instantly going for a early training post. Does get I believe, got the pass up in time just about. It would be a bit close, wouldn't make too much difference. Has 9 population queued. Has 12-10 in store. Oh, drops the house though. I was getting excited and we'll see a 12-10 age up, but no, had the wood available for the house and thrown down the house. And when was the last time we saw a Pirashiki FF 12-10 style? Probably not for a long while. Yeah, bwinner had that 40 wood on the way to the TP, and on a small map with the smaller trading routes, actually stopping off for a treasure on the way is not that critically bad, shall I say. So extra 40 wood there, helping to get that house up, and bwinner is quite happy with his opening gambit, shall I say. Big treasure here though, 95 woods, and as soon as he scouts this Cheyenne, he will scout the treasure, and he knows his 95 woods is here. He has a war dog. He's just getting this 20 coin, waiting for that crack shot to recharge. I'd be quite happy to see Crackshot and just tank the Grizzly Bear fire with the... Oh, Buttercup! It's Buttercup! Where's the dog? Where's the dog gone? Is it dead? Oh no, it's a scout ahead. But you want to go back for the word? Where you going, bro? Where you going? 110 coin. It at least means... I guess that means you don't have to mine any coin during transition if you're going for the Governor Age up, and... Lucky there's a 110 coin over here, because that big treasure is now being scouted out by minimoult, and minimoult is on the way. He will get his treasure up, but maybe a treasure contention. But with a dog and a cougar as well, pet cougar, should be able to dominate this fight over the Dutch Explorer and Envoy. The Envoy is, well, doesn't offer too much on the offensive side of nature. Offensive side of things. It's a very tanky scouting unit, doesn't offer too much hand attack. Pinata being pulled back away from Minimoult's Explorer after doing enough damage but keeping it alive. Buttercup is also quite fast, 5 speed, able to snare the Explorer. And, well, no, I don't think they snare actually, no they don't. But Minimoult's in the way. They could even turn back now and try and go for that wood treasure instead. It just does feel nice to have an extra 95 wood, but as Spain, it doesn't really help your age up time at any point as compared to a Civ like Dutch. This Explorer going down has been quite, well, it's actually going to be big, I've just realised. Looks like bwinner wants to force the agenda and finish this off. bwinner's going to go for Governor age up. No, he's not. So, Quartermaster from the Dutch, I was expecting bwinner to take down the Explorer, go Governor, and send an outpost here, or somewhere. Okay, here's probably better. It's just somewhere random, where the Explorer couldn't really scout it and would have no idea where to find it, but I suppose the Envoy's still up, so that doesn't really make too much sense. But bwinner, what's this, mate? Philosopher Prince, age up. He's also going for TP control here. Looks like Advanced Training Post has come in and going to try and work his magic for a 4 TP control Explorer on the far defensive training post for the Dutch player. I'm going to go for his own TP. Minimoult, you can just see him frantically trying to get his own training post down, but where's he off? He's just gone off at the wrong moment. TP come down for bwinner. If bwinner got a training post, if Minimoult got a training post, could he realistically defend it? And I don't think he could, so I guess that's why he just went off to scout instead of see what's going on. Right, that 500 food age up tied in with that 110 coin treasure in the corner, as well as a few other beaver treasures. I'm sure bwinner will still send 700 coin, mine the extra 150 coin, but should be up very, very fast and won't idle too much. And I like the adaptation of going 500 foods here just to ensure that fast age up. And may even have enough wood available to go for stagecoach. But I don't think we'll go stagecoach here. I think the Spanish player just wants the XP. XP means shipments, and just continue streaming shipments in the third age. Tough to deal with. Minimoult 700 wood. Next card, going bank, going stable. A build I like to do is Dutch. It's not. Yeah, it'd be too slow in this game, but it would be standard 700 wood bank. But on that 700 wood, go bank, market, house, hunting dogs, and steel traps. You have enough wood for all of that, and don't make any units age 2 because what are 5 husks going to do? They're not going to siege an ATP down. You're not going to raid villagers. They're underneath this town centre anyway. It feels like the Hussar play from Minimoult in the second age just doesn't feel it gels up too well. And I think Minimoult's got a stable down for stable's sake. Like, hey, I've got a stable. Hey, look at me. I've got my infrastructure set down for the next age. But the fact that you go on 700 wood bank wagon, 4 bank semi-FF, it's so slow. It's to catch up in a Spanish advance time. 700 coin. It's underrated as Dutch, but you got all your villagers on the food. If 700 coin came in now, yes, you do sacrifice 1 bank and XP it provides you, but you'd be close to agent at this point. Minimoult even going. How's he afforded the steel traps and the stable? He's got hunting dogs, steel traps, and agent up, but this stable is just it's hurt his build so much. And he sends 700 coin. Oh, I do not like this at all. Do not like this one bit. With the 4 bank FF, so bank in age 1, bank on age 2, transition 400 wood, bank on the 700 wood, mark it down, hunting dogs, so mark it down first on that 700 wood, get the hunting dogs in very early, steel traps, bank wagon, and the house. You can click up at 7 minutes flat. Okay, Minimoult's clicking up 7:20 there, but he sent himself an extra age 2 shipment, and this could be 600 wood now, and that wood can give him an extra barracks, 4 houses, or a barrack stable, 2 houses, and just help him with this infrastructure. It feels that I've said my 2 cents on the stable play there. It feels like Minimoult just playing a build order which works for everything else, like versus a French cast semi-FF here, but not versus a Spanish 4 TP, no military second age, fast age to the third age, and has full map control and Cheyenne settlements. bwinner's playing to the map here. There's a varying degree of what TP's come down. Could be the Cheyenne, could be the Cree. I think it also could be the Nootka. But why does bwinner want to leave his plateau and go for more hunts when he can just send bisons? And actually, I think the walking time, how much it costs to send 15 vills, let's say, off to hunt down the plateau, you kind of make it up in that wood and coin crate. And even sending Spanish gold first on this build, you'll then send a 1,000 wood behind this. He's not researching just yet, he doesn't need to. He still has hunt available and will send it once he has that 1,000 wood. But Cheyenne hunting grounds here seems to be very strong. And so far, it feels like bwinner's in a decent position, although the scores suggest that minimoult's in the lead. minimoult's just done Dutch things, and with no 600 wood, I guess there's no early 5 bank, and we'll have to wait for his 5th bank on the 1,000 wood at this point. Does he go 1,000 woods? You're just giving so much time for bwinner, who's actually double stagecoached this. I'd like this to stay tier 1. This being tier 2 though, it makes perfect sense, but I think this may be an over-committal here from bwinner, but 1,000 wood from bwinner behind this. Just rolling in the shipments and the money and the wood and the resources and the shipments, and just continuous Cheyenne hunting grounds coming in. Settlers now with the 1k wood market coming down. Hunting dog steel trap soon behind. Both players going for economic play styles here, but it feels it has been better for the Spanish player. Colonial Rodilleros and Colonial Hussars pushing out across the map. Both are weak to Rodilleros. 9 Raider shipment, pardon me, was sent from minimoult. So he does have units out in the field to deal with this. And he's still going for Raider skirmisher, so minimoult's build works because it wasn't versus a Spanish FF. Yeah, but it's also given so much time for the ATP to kind of come into payoff, and bwinner now with a decent eco behind this, but still the Colonial Rodilleros. It's hard to get the veterancy in when you only have 1 barrack, 2nd barracks coming in. Hoping veterancy is coming in soon, because otherwise you're just wasting colonial units versus veterancy, and it always feels that there's always one unit you see being massed in the 3rd age but never upgraded, and that's the Rodillero. Yeah, this stagecoach player has just incentivized minimoult to push out and capture this for his own self, and that's a... Although minimoult has picked himself his own TP, that's a 2 TP swing there, and that's a big in terms of economic potential for both civs at that point. Makes, well, just gives Dutch much more res really. The Spain player who relies on this TP play for his economy is just having to push back. He just can't deal with... bwinner's build is slow in terms of military output, because when Spanish gold 1,000 wood has probably a better remass potential here at the moment, but he needs to bide time and wait for his falconets and a skirmisher count to start growing, or Rodilleros, something to deal with the Raiders. At the moment he just doesn't have that decisive military edge, but now you can see military population 50 versus 66. It's just bwinner is soon about to enter his window for being strongest, and could even go for dogs as well, but where bwinner's explorer is down for the time being. Okay, Falconets lead the charge though. We get a good volume of skirmishers, but not even a single kill. Skirms dodging the cannonballs. Absolute pro. But Raiders just coming in. Rods just need to engage with the Raiders and punish minimoult for overcommitting onto the skirmishers, and Rodilleros cutting through the Raiders and double batch of Lancers onto the skirmishers. This has to be a great fight for bwinner here. Lancers just focus on the skirmishers. Even if you do lose Lancers to the Raiders, you've got a good trade here at the moment, and the remass from Spain is looking pretty strong at the moment. Rodilleros though, what are units to deal with Raiders, and this is a very tough matchup here for Dutch, and that Reuter count is just enough to pick off most of those Lancers, but 2 Lancers remaining forces the Dutch player back. I'm expecting large reinforcements of Lancers, and he hasn't even bwinner hasn't even shipped his Lancer cards yet. Batch of 5 Lancers with Lancer. 5 Lancers would be great, but bwinner's stacking a lot of resources. Come on, bwinner. Need to get their macro sorted, spend the resources, and push out. And now these skirmishers are awkwardly out of position. Dutch player, they do have 5 Hussar shipment. Not going to send it though, due to the threat of the Rodoleros. Instead going for infantry combat. And the Dutch player, happy with these trades, probably needs a, well, artillery foundry to deal with the skirm rod mass. I guess upgrade skirms can do very well. You just need enough Reuters to really scare away the Lancers and even Rodoleros. Once they go into the skirmishers in hand combat, it just feels very awkward to micro versus Spain. Is a strong competition the Spanish player has. bwinner should be checking these stats on the skirmishers. I'm not too sure if bwinner plays on maximised or minimised UI, but it's very easy to see in the minimised UI. And if you know you're losing that skirmisher trade to your upgrades, don't take it. Let minimoult come out onto the open and face you in the valley. And Lancers though, Lancers to the south, Lancers to the north. This is a Lancer sandwich, but lots of Reuters now. Rod's being brought into the action. A couple of skirmishers here. Lancers taking their time to get in, but Lancer's just so tanky. 350 HP, 30 range resist. Rodoleros now up and close and personal. Same with the skirmishers. Both the rods and skirms deal with the Reuters, and it feels like it's just a really hard matchup for Dutch, and I don't really know how minimoult could have really improved it. It still feels that bwinner is just edging out victory as the game goes on. Still getting great trades, and the Rodoleros cutting up the skirmishers with the infantry combat. Now your skirm mass is gone as Dutch does have no, he has a single racks instead of 2 stables, and that's why I was talking about the 600 wood play instead of the stable. Minutemen being called out, but a little bit late. I think you already lost most of your Reuters, and now you're just. It's just a classic Dutch thing. Make Reuters, but Reuters get countered by the skirmishers and the Rodoleros. It's not over though, is it? Reinforcing Lancers, but the anti-Dragoon force of Spain is dwindling very fast. Two rods in queue, 1300 food for bwinner. He really needs to sort this out as a priority. Coin still has lots of coin. Could sell off that food. Just do something and get units pumped out. 3 rods, 4 rods. That needs to be a 10 rod batch. But double racks though, I do like it. Reuters getting a bit close to the Spanish army for my liking, and here we go again. The Spanish army is just going to Z-move the Dutch army. Rods do alright versus skirmishers, force them into hand combat. They absolutely wreck Reuters. Reuters have to stand and fire to deal with the Lancers, otherwise you lose your skirm mass. Once you lose your skirms, nothing challenging the Spanish skirms on your Reuters. It's just you can't win this. It feels like it's another alright engagement, but it's Lancer heavy here for bwinner. He needs more rods. Hand cavalry combat from bwinner instead of hand infantry. I wonder if he had hand infantry combat in his deck. I don't want to check it right now. I don't want to cause lag in the game at a pivotal part. Rodoleros engaging with the Reuters, but cuts them down. See how fast those rods fall in hand combat. 170 HP. No cav combat on those rods, but on the Reuters, shall I say. Reuters and rods. But 13, 3.5 multiplier. Very strong from the veteran Rodoleros, and just cuts through these Reuters as if they're just paper. It's just the endless stream of reinforcements. Another 10 Okay, 9 skirms, 1 lancer reinforcements here. And bwinner nearly has enough resources to age 4. I don't know if he wants to age 4 or he's just not spamming hard enough, but he's in a position where he can do what either. And the GG has been called. 4-3 in the end. bwinner bringing one back for the CMC boys. They'll be happy with that, I think. Well, will they be happy with it? bwinner did beat minimoult 4-1 in week 3, but minimoult's one of those players who's recently improved so much in a short amount of time. With impressive victories, 3-2 over Frontier, 3-2 over the Only Baus, 3-2 over Stanley Winston, and now a 4-3 over bwinner. minimoult will be very, very happy with his performance, and for 675 duck coins, could arguably say this is the pick of the tournament. This game, Dutch is one of the civs I like to say I'm alright at. It's the civ I'm kind of focused on at the moment. minimoult had the right idea. 700 wood bank wagon for the most economical build you can go, which feels strong because you're getting the XP off of the banks, and the bank shipment as well helps with that XP. So 700 wood bank wagon is better than 700 wood 600 wood, but minimoult market drop a little bit late. Could go market like first on that first 100 wood gathered, mark it down, then get those techs rolling in, and then instead of the stable just have that house and steel traps. You didn't make a hussar in the second age. There's no way you're sieging down these barracks, and if you've identified that you've got time from the Spanish player, Spanish player doing TPs and then aging up behind this, could go for that age up time. I was talking about 7 minutes flat, 7 minutes 5 seconds, and then you can send 600 wood as card 3 instead of 700 coin. Like you see, minimoult there needed that coin to help the age up, but really, when you've got 4 banks behind this, and it's still valuable shipment for 700 coins, very valuable. Don't get me wrong about it, but you just have 2 in-base coin mines as well. 600 wood could have helped there, and I think actually the lack of a second barracks here hurt minimoult. If you could have got a few more skirms out in the field, and it could have been quite nice. Skirms, houses, and then you wouldn't have to chop wood as much as minimoult did. And if you're not chopping wood, you're gathering hunts and mines, which mean more military units and more of a chance to defeat the Spanish opponents. And if you identify that your opponent's giving you time, I feel Dutch is one of those civs you can capitalise on any time being given and have a great build behind this. But apart from that though, once he got to the Fortress Age, you can see minimoult's really good unit control, good shipment progression, having seven Reuters in deck still instead of other shipments, has Swiss pikes like that. Refrigeration works in a deck like this, and I would have a similar deck, but I'd choose I would say I'd choose the Fort Wagon over 7 Reuters, but I've never actually really sent a force in a way that's actually worked yet. So minimoult, full 5 unit roster in age 3, and nothing wrong with that deck there whatsoever. Village count, nice normal vill count. Losing a few vills minimoult, but that's nothing too much by that point. All resources gathered. I'm expecting it to be Dutch favoured between like minutes 6 and 9, then Spain overtaken late on. It's close. But you can see the Dutch have a nice little window where they have more resources, and you can see how many was trying to then mass at that point and push out, which he did quite well in the first point, but after all that TP income there for the Spain player, just a little bit too much. Possibly if minimoult had a slightly bigger army, early parts of age 3, could have had a more decisive trades versus the Spain player, and could be in a position to take both the TPs himself on his side of the river, or even better, push into the Spanish player base and deny his gathering and finish the game. Five TPs so fast. I like the bwinner Cheyenne hunting ground tech, very smart play, playing to the map, and has done his homework.